Actually, shit, I'll just do it now while people are pissing.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, MCV UK wrote an interesting report. They talked to some people at some testing firms. Typically, a game developer will outsource QA and testing to an external firm that's good at it. 2 firms warned that this Christmas may have games that are just as bad, if not worse, as last year. You recall, like, Master Chief Collection, Drive Club, Assassin's Creed Unity. These games all came out with a...
Broken.
Yeah, broken as fuck. Here are some quotes for you. Quote, the run-up to this Christmas will be no different to the last one. Pull to Win, which is the name of a testing firm, Director Chris Rowley said, quote, console games are expensive to develop, so missing a street date is not an acceptable situation to a publisher. Day one patches have become the norm over the last few years, and to try and address this. But the reality is that often it takes several patches where a title is significantly behind schedule. One more quote from Universally Speaking. As the QA manager James Cubitt says, it's getting better but far from solved. People need to stop seeing delays as a bad thing, both companies and their user base. The number of companies that just squeeze QA testing into the remaining period without sufficient time to fix the issues and then retest is hurting their own titles in the long run. So, our question to you is, audience, how mad are you about broken games? Would you prefer a game release? Some of them are like that. Would you prefer a game release on time and maybe be a little broken? Would you prefer it be delayed and come out perfectly? Would you be willing to exchange that time? So let us know what you think.
Call us on Skype.
And call us on Skype. We had several before, but they all gave up.
They all hung up. FAQ Podcast is our username.
Yeah, FAQ Podcast on Skype.
And just call us.
You. I'll keep vamping. I got shit to talk about.
That's fine.
Enough words.
Oh, so we're still waiting on apparently they're peeing together or something. Use the women's bathroom.
Hey, answer that. Answer that one.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, boy. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
My name is Jordan.
Okay, Jordan, hi. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'll be honest, I didn't expect for you to answer.
Of course. That's what we do on the FAQ Podcast.
So, your question is about delayed games?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like using Grand Theft Auto as an example, I was kind of wary about it being delayed. Everybody was bitching about it and just wouldn't shut up about it, but I feel like after it came out, it was totally justified that it was delayed.
It's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's super valid. We completely agree because the game wasn't really broken. However, did you play GTA Online? Did you have any trouble with that?
With GTA Online, I feel like there's still a few problems with kind of connecting to servers and getting dropped and all that kind of stuff, but
absolutely,
it's not as bad as it first launched, and it's definitely, I think, the more time they spent on it, they kind of definitely upgraded it, and I'm glad that it was delayed, really.
Interesting, because theoretically it came out when it was busted, and a lot of people were pretty pissed off about it. We spent a lot of time fucking waiting for GTA Online to load, getting disconnected and things like that.
But the alternative was it didn't need to come out.
Yeah.
So I was sort of like, you know what, the single player was enough. I was happy. So multiplayer, I understood that it was in beta, and the fact that the way it works now, I mean, how it's going to work from a year from now is going to be completely different than how it is now. So it's
I feel like
ever
it's going
evolving.
to keep kind of evolving, and eventually it is going to get to a point where maybe when I connect into a server, it'll keep me in that server for more than like 15 minutes before getting dropped into my own private.
You wish.
At the moment,
there's no way, Jordan. That's not gonna. I mean, like, it may happen at some point, but that's gonna be like 5 years from now, and nobody cares.
That's being super optimistic.
Yeah. So thank you for the call, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, Jordan.
Bye.
Holy shit.
Man, why is it? What the fuck is
Ads
Skype
are
doing?
insulting you.
I know.
He reminded me of the guy who did the How to Annoy videos a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Similar voice.
So call FAQ Podcast on Skype. That's our username, all one word, all lowercase. If you want to bitch about broken games to us, and we're going to tell you how you possibly are wrong. All right. Let's talk to this guy. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Oh, I'm so good.
I'm a little hungry, I'm not gonna lie. You got food?
You have any question, John?
Yes, I do. I was wondering what your thoughts were on a broken game that I've played in recent times.
Which would be?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You want us to pick one for you?
Binary Domain. It's
Oh, that game rules!
Oh man.
What's broken about that game aside from all the voice commands?
Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about, the voice command thing. It's like a great idea, but it was completely awful.
Remember Andy the Android?
Absolutely
Oh
not.
yeah, Andy the Android.
Yeah, that never happened.
Holy shit.
My only experience with binary domain was when we worked at Machinima. They wanted a pitch. We gave them this idea. We're like, what if we did like a thing where like a guy was an android and he didn't know he's an android, and we called it Andy the Android. And
You mean like
great.
Small Wonder?
Yeah.
Wait, she
And
knew
then
she
like
was an
we
android.
came up with like 3 or 4 ideas, and then they got executed on. We're like, this is the worst thing we've ever made, and everyone hated it. Anyway,
Was the game broken?
Yeah, congratulations on not answering the question.
I don't know.
It's all good.
Fuck it. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about binary domain. That's what the kids want.
Yeah, we do. That game was fun, and the voice commands, like, you could do all that stuff with the controller, so it's not like it changed anything. Also, I don't know. I don't expect voice commands to ever work. I played Lifeline
Yeah.
on PlayStation 2. That was a load of crap, and there was no controller for that. Binary domain at least lets you hit buttons. It's not like a
Yeah, that's
Kinect,
true,
which
that's
you
true.
scream at, and it looks at you like innocently.
Did anyone play
Yeah.
binary?
No, I didn't play
Yes.
it.
Yes!
No,
But John, what
everyone
was
counts.
your problem with binary domain?
Nothing really. Like besides the. Well,
Well,
I'm
the
sorry,
game was fine. I don't understand.
It's just the command thing. It's
one
kind
feature
of
didn't
why I
work.
bought it because
Ah.
I thought that looked really, really awesome.
Yeah.
But it just was total crap for me.
Wait, you just said it was fine. Oh well. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, talk to you later, John.
Jeez.
He's crying right now.
Look, this is. Look, we gotta.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Time's money.
Dylan, what's up?
Time is money.
I think time is time.
Dylan,
and it
Dylan, are you
certainly
there?
feels
Is that
way.
Warcraft
Yeah,
ad
I'm
paying
here.
for
I'm
itself
here.
right there?
Hey, so no, that's true. What's your question?
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm just, woo! I did not think I'd be on the show.
Did you just
Okay,
like go down a water slide?
Oh, your time's up. I've gotta go.
Oh, time is money,
No.
and you're wasting time right now.
I'm just kidding.
My question
All right, go ahead. Ask your question.
Did you guys like the game Ty the Tasmanian Tiger?
The Super Nintendo?
No way.
What?
I never played Ty.
That's not a question about what we were talking about.
Tasmanian.
Please ask us about games that are broken and whether or not they're
Maybe
pieces.
it was a broken
that was
game. I
probably
don't know what it
broken
was.
20 years ago.
I came in late to this. Why are we talking about broken games?
Because I did a whole preamble. Basically, there was an article in MCV where they talked to testing firms, and a lot of the managers there were basically like, "Yeah, shit's gonna be bad this year." Like they haven't gotten any more budget, time, or
They're basically
opportunity.
warning us.
Yeah,
Okay.
to beta test.
What, which one?
I thought it was a cash register.
okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Call FAQ podcast, all one word, all
Just so
lowercase.
you know, when Adam asked Lawrence
Skype.
why we were talking about this, Lawrence began with, "Well, I had a preamble,"
Yeah.
which is basically an excuse for anything we ever talk about.
I kind of wanted
There's
the
always
quick and
one.
dirty version, but
Basically,
I didn't get it.
Somebody predicted
That was the quick and
there'd
dirty
be a
version.
lot of broken games this Christmas.
Yeah, that it hasn't gotten better despite last
I'm
Christmas
gonna
being
break
pretty
all
bad.
your hearts just a little bit.
Uh-oh.
All games are broken.
Oh,
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, yeah.
How's that possible?
It is up to the developer to hide those problems.
Wait.
Nothing. Don't worry
I'm just
about
saying, no.
No, no,
well,
All games have little quirks
I mean,
or
should we
issues.
discuss the fact that it has to do with how games are being made these days and patched and later? So why do you need to finish a game before you ship
That
it?
was also part of the preamble.
Well, I'm having an issue right now. I was just trying to log into Destiny. I wanted to just go up to Xur and go buy an engram.
Can't.
No, because you can't get into the fucking servers. You know why? Because the game's popular and everyone's playing it, so
Adam,
I can't play the game.
This is for the
Hit
audience.
the price one.
What?
Price one.
I hate that one.
Ooh, Destiny got you right there.
Trombone.
all right, let's talk this person here. Hey, John, are you there?
Did you hang up on the
Hey there, how's it going?
Tasmanian kid?
No, absolutely. I hung on that kid. How are you?
Don't ask us about Ty the Tasmanian
Yeah,
Tiger.
perfect.
Do you have any questions
Again.
for us about broken games?
Yeah, what was the last broken game that you actually enjoyed? As in, I had a lot of old glitchy games which I quite enjoyed just breaking as we went through, like sort of speedrunners do. As in watching
Manhunter?
STDQ recently.
Yeah, I mean, like we enjoy a lot of
see what you
broken
mean.
games. In terms of a current broken game, you played the shit out of Arkham Knight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got pretty far.
But it wasn't broken for you.
Yeah, I lucked out. For whatever reason, I got the one that wasn't broken. And then, like, towards the end, like, I would get the occasional crash. But, like, wasn't bad, actually.
Well,
Assassin's Creed Unity is fun, despite being busted.
I mean, it kind of depends on what your definition of broken game is. Is it like network connectivity and stuff? Because we play Ark and we have a great time. But if you die too close to a dinosaur, your body splits into 1,000 polygons and you just whip around the map. And then,
So, John, what do you consider a broken game?
Probably, well, I guess in the fun sense, probably something which will let you kind of clip through walls or maybe just advance in a way that you're not meant to.
Yeah, it's not a game halting. Oh, okay. So you mean more like speedrunning glitches and stuff, where you can bypass
Yeah,
parts
yeah.
of the game?
Well, there was always like that game, like Big Mother Truckers or whatever I think it was called, and like it was just a classic video where like it'd be driving and there'd be a bridge and they would just fall through the ground and then you're just in the ground. Like we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like with the GTA mods, we'll just like clip through
That's fun.
the game, but the game is actually smart enough
Yeah.
that it's like
Squirts you back out.
Yeah, it'll just kick you right back. And you're like, wow, that's actually so. Like in a way, for that reason, the game's broken, but the game fixes itself, which is like that's just good development.
Yeah.
The original Half-Life has some really cool stuff where like you'll Gauss gun jump and then clip over a wall and fly into another part of the level and just end it in like 3 seconds. Pretty cool shit.
Yeah, like, did you guys ever play Marathon?
What was it?
Martian?
Sorry, Marathon.
Marathon.
games.
Oh, Marathon.
We're Yankees.
Yeah, like in the later ones, we realised that rocket jumping was a thing. So if you went backwards and fired rockets at the floor, it would kind of provide you quite far across the map. So they started putting stuff in for people who knew how to break the game. So instead of fixing the engine, they would then go in and put stuff in later games to actually make you kind of reward for breaking it.
That actually happened with the original Tribes. I remember basically
skiing.
skiing was a glitch, and so they basically turned it into part of the game because somebody figured out how to write a script for it, and everybody started skiing, and it became a better game for it. So I mean, that's kind of one of those things that, again, like if the game is not unplayable, if you can play the game just fine, and it's still like, you know, it has no faces or whatever, then no big deal.
Click Falcon Punch.
Hold on, there it is.
Falcon Punch!
Thanks for the call, John. We really appreciate it. This guy's been calling for. Hello, are you there?
Hi there, yeah.
All right, do you have a question for us?
Big fan.
Thank you.
I apologize if this was already asked. I only just started watching.
It's okay.
So I want to know what you guys think is the worst example of a bug or whatever that breaks a game that has actually happened.
Worst example of a bug.
Well, there's the legendary Myth bug where like it almost killed Bungie entirely. It was the thing where you installed the game, and when you uninstalled it, it just deleted the folder it was in. So if you installed it to your root, it would wipe your entire hard drive, and some people had that happen.
That even exists today with just recently with Phantom Pain.
Oh yeah, the quiet bug.
So you know, power to Konami for at least letting you know in the dumbest fucking way possible. Because every time you boot up the game, there's a text screen, and then there's another text screen. There's about 3 more. So you kind of just get the muscle memory kicked in where you just skip these things.
Yeah.
And then this bug came out where like if you do mission 29 and 58 or whatever with quiet, the game will delete itself, or like you'll delete your save,
yeah.
And the 70 hours you put into the game will be just gone. Like unless you like saved it to the cloud or something or backed it up. But no one really, like not everyone knows how to do that. So
yeah.
That still exists. Like, and that's embarrassing. And a lot of people miss that because they put that stupid text screen that's like looks like a wall of text.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
they tried putting it in a different color. It's like that one's yellow.
Yeah.
I don't care. Still mashing through.
So Raphael, that's a pretty good example.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks for...
Yes, thanks for what?
He doesn't want to say goodbye.
Yeah, thanks for answering.
Oh, of course, man. We'll talk to you later.
Play Falcon
Yep.
Punch.
Okay, bye-bye.
We might not
probably
talk
never
going
gonna
to
talk
Falcon Punch!
We might. You never know. Hold on. Let's talk to... Hello, are you there?
It's a cow.
Are you in a microwave?
Is that a cow? Who is this? All right, let's see here. This guy's been calling for a while. Hello, are you there?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Did you forget you were
Like I
calling
was
on
trying to
Skype?
sleep.
Did you?
Yes, I can talk.
Do you have a call about broken games?
Yeah, so I bought the $90 Steam Batman Arkham Knight edition.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I get that reaction a lot, but
You got a refund, right?
I did not get a refund.
What? Why not?
200%.
Did it work for you?
Kind of. A little bit.
All right.
I 200% of the game, so
Oh.
I don't know why everybody's.
Wait, you can 200% it?
So you played all the way through it like 100 million times and it was fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
it's just stuttering, you know.
But otherwise playable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you enjoyed it.
Oh, loved it.
Was it worth the $90 you paid for it?
As long as they release the DLC.
Well, I'm sure they will eventually.
Do you think that this will affect your perception of broken games in the future? Are you just gonna if it's a game that you think you want, are you just gonna be more willing to pay that amount of money in the future, regardless of the stuttering?
No, I just love Batman.
Oh, okay.
Well, then they got your money.
I like the way you said that.
Sure did.
I just love Batman. All right, talk to you later.
Batman loves.
We'll let you get back to sleep.
It's Batman pajamas. Batman cape.
Let's see this guy. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you have a question about broken games?
I do. So I was wondering, when it comes to franchises that come out that are broken games, say like the Master Chief Collection and last year with Assassin's Creed, do you think that's going to affect the sales of future titles like Halo 5 or the next Assassin's Creed, or do you think people are just going to keep blindly buying these franchise games?
Good question.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because like Halo is an interesting one where I was just really disappointed in that because when they first pitched the idea, it was like, wow, that's the perfect idea. Every Halo remastered, I can play them online. That's great. None of them freaking work online, so that sucks. But now, in a weird way, I'm more excited for Halo 5 because I want to believe it's going to work, and just the way they're handling DLC and how everything's going to be free and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, and like same with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Like when we first played Unity, it was bad. Like we played on Xbox One and like thing barely worked. I just recently beat it on PC and it was fine. A little, had a little Assassin's Creed quirks here and there, but
For me, it was bad, but it was just doof bad. Like I never fell through the floor and failed a mission. It was just sometimes Arno would like run and then be on the ground again.
That's kind of Assassin's Creed though, because like they honestly put in too much.
Yeah.
Where they're like, look,
they shoot way too high. It's like a new engine.
There are 35,000 people on screen. Like, what can they do? They're like, what?
Yeah, we made this in 6 months.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy. But like, I am excited for Syndicate because from what I've heard, they're kind of dialing it back a little bit. And then same with Halo 5. From what I understand too with the Master Chief Collection, that was a lot of other studios who were involved with that.
Yeah, I don't think it was 343's direct fault with the Master Chief Collection, but it was just disappointing considering how great every Halo game has been since the beginning.
I hope it shows that people can be patient if you kind of trickle things out. Like, I think they could have got a good release with just probably Halo 1 and 2 remastered.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then, like, the way they put out ODST, like, just drop in a new game every few months and keep people coming back to Master Chief Collection. I don't know why they had to blow their wads so all at once. Because then things broken and
I don't think Halo 3 needed the remaster to begin with. Like Halo 1 and 2 definitely graphically they could have used the boost to warrant a re-release, but Halo 3 still looks good now.
So I've got a question for you. Is it going to affect your sales? Meaning, are you going to buy the next game even though the other one was broken?
Yes, I mean I'm a big Halo fan, so I kind of can't resist buying Halo 5.
Yeah. So here's what I noticed.
Man, what the hell? You hit spacebar.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So here's what I noticed. I noticed that basically, if you have two games, so if Assassin's Creed Unity is broken and Assassin's Creed Syndicate is also broken, then I think you'll lose a bunch of people.
2 strikes and you're out.
I think it seems like 2 strikes to me.
Okay.
That's fair.
But that's just what I've noticed.
Everyone loves the Cinderella story. I think people want the game to succeed. Like it's always that sort of thing where they're like, okay. We've been following the games industry for so long, you just see history repeat itself over and over, and it's always the same thing. Like when they first showed off the Xbox One, they were like, look at this interface. It is perfect.
So good.
It's so good. I just watched an 8-minute video today with Major Nelson being like,
oh, that was so bad.
We fixed all the garbage.
Oh my God.
The garbage is gone.
What were we thinking?
Yeah, and squares, really?
I guess you can get really like nitty gritty about it, but that just ends up being kind of human nature, that we're constantly trying to improve things. But that's how it usually is. It's always like, we did it. We finally perfected it. No, wait, now we perfected it.
Wait, no.
Look at Apple every year. It's always just like, the iPhone got better. That last one, garbage.
That was garbage, yeah. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
The only thing that's changed is everything. Oh, wait, it's still an iPhone.
Let's see here.
Taking a photo of all the Skype calls.
Austin, are you there?
Yeah, hey guys, what's up?
How's it going? You have a question for us about broken games?
Yeah, I just logged on, so I don't know if you answered this before, but I was wondering how exactly do games get broken? Like, is it too much processing, or a map, like, for instance, just like finding glitches and everything? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Absolutely.
We were just listening to you talk.
We're just confused.
So games don't get broken; they start broken. They don't exist to start. Like, let me put it this way: when's the last time you had an appropriate shit? It was probably a while. Like the human body's really
like
complicated and it's
pooping?
breaking and fucking up all the time because it was just a give her one of those.
What was it? I don't like this fart soundboard because it takes too long to play.
It does kind of. Some of them are a little fast. There we go.
Oh. Jesus. It doesn't sound like farts. It sounds like kind of someone's mouth.
Anyway, games are incredibly complicated, and they're made by human beings. So when you have like multiple systems that are all interacting with each other all at the same time, complicated animations, people changing things and not telling the right people at the right time, it's only natural that some of these things are going to get out of sync, and that's kind of what causes these problems. So, it's a factor of a lot of things: not enough money, not enough time, not enough communication. Every game is, like Adam was saying earlier, every game is broken to some degree. It's whether or not you see it and how many bugs there are. Every game ships with bugs. It's known.
It is. It's a weird thing, actually. Like, if you look back at the GTA San Andreas, the hot coffee mod, people were always, like, confused, a little perplexed. It was like, why is that still in there?
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, the hot coffee mod was someone found, like an action loader or Game Shark equivalent or whatever on the PlayStation 2, and it unlocked pieces of code that were still on San Andreas. And I think that ended up being discovered, first it was discovered on the PC version, which is much easier to access. Mm-hmm. And they were saying like, oh no, that's just a PC thing, we can patch it out. And then they're like, well, they found it on the PS2 version, which means they shipped it on there and they got like a slap on the wrist for it.
Yep.
Not actually more than a slap on the wrist, they had to do a freaking recall. Like, it was pretty bad.
Well, there was a sex thing.
But you could not access it. Like, you have to go through so many loopholes to access it.
It was an ESRB issue. Like, if that was on there, it should have been rated adults only. And then the ESRB was like, doesn't matter if you can access it or not. It is on the disc that you're selling to somebody.
Right.
So if that content is there, we should have taken that into account with our ratings.
But the reason why people are like, why'd they leave it in there? It's like, because the rest of the game probably hinged on it. There was probably some animation in there that they were using. Like, well, if we take this out, it's going to break this thing like 4 lines down. That like, just don't bother. Like, just let it works. Okay, the duct tape is in place.
Exactly.
It works. That's why whenever I always see people like on the Destiny subreddit or whatever, like, why don't they just do this? And it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, they don't understand what they're saying.
You're talking about like hundreds of man hours so that the character can point.
Austin, thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Sorry I'm so mad at
every
you.
part of the question.
Oh, what? What'd you say?
Thank you guys. You answered the whole question.
Oh,
too.
of course. Okay. Wow, that was very positive. Thank you.
I award you guys 10 points.
If you guys ever want to get a really good understanding of why games are broken, try and write one.
Yeah.
Like, find a simple coding thing, make your own game. I guarantee it won't work, and you'll spend more time trying to figure out why it's not working than making it to start with.
Yeah, I think the game maker that the guys made Hotline Miami with is like available on Android now for like $12 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, learn to make games on the
Go
shitty
make
little
Hotline
thing they
Miami.
did, Yeah, go make Hotline. Wow, we got mad.
Hello, are you there?
To nobody.
Hi.
Hey,
do you have a question about broken games?
Yeah. I wanted to ask about the how you guys were about MW 2.
MW 2?
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
What was broken about it?
It was 6 months of just broken glitches.
Oh, well, the multiplayer was incredibly unbalanced.
Oh yeah.
They had the thing of the I forgot the name of it. It's like the Man of War perk or something like that, or it was some dumb thing where basically someone figured out like, well, if I do this setup with this loadout, I have unlimited grenades because this game's retarded. And like, I remember they did other things too, where like if you did a care package, you would run faster, and if you put on unlimited sprint and like faster sprint, you basically just zipped around the map, and that just shipped in the game because there was just not enough like play testing.
And what I'm trying to ask is like 6 months of it being broken and no support at all, and some people still see it as one of the best Call of Duties. Is that just fan base loving the game, or is that just?
Well, I think that speaks to there's a broad swath of people that play games that don't care or understand about any of that stuff. And if you played it, you run into them. All they do is hold forward in the trigger, and that's how they play. And maybe they turn sometimes. Reloading, forget about it. And they don't have the capacity or even the desire to care about game balance at all. They get high, they smash some buttons, and then they fart, and then they go on about their day.
Let me ask you this, Michael. Did you buy the next Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 2?
Yes.
Ooh, see, that's the problem. So
it's because it was Treyarch. I did not buy MW 3.
Well, you didn't. Oh, okay. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's called being an educated consumer. Nice job.
And I made a wise choice because I played at a friend's house, and it was trash.
Ooh.
I threw up.
And it was trash. You threw up, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
That
sounds like a problem.
You're lying to me.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
It's interesting because like Speaking of broken games,
M-dub.
speaking of broken games, like
Whoop, whoop.
Super Mario 64 is in my opinion, one of the best games ever made, and it shipped broken.
Yeah.
It had a broken camera, which by the way was never patched.
Yeah.
Like it had all kinds of broken things all over that game.
Yeah.
But hey, what
I
can
don't.
you do?
And I guess
can you do?
I genuinely don't know what you can do. I'm not a programmer.
Like Zelda had a game halting glitches too.
It swings both ways right now. Where like, so the days of like what happened with Bungie and Myth 2 will never happen again. Well, they do, but like
Batman.
Well, I'm saying you can at least put a patch out. So like if there is a problem, like if Mario 64 to come out on the Wii U today, it'd be like, oh okay, we'll just put out a patch and like, oh fixed, done.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Well, 10 years ago you could, but. Even then, I forgot how quickly.
Got your point. Nailed it.
Regardless,
10 points.
I award you 10 points.
The problem is when game developers take advantage of that system, they're like,
Oh, right.
we'll just
Or they
ship it
anticipate
broken
they keep
because we
backing.
have to hit a deadline. And so like there's this, I don't know, there's always pressure from all sides.
Well, I don't even know if it's taking advantage. I think it's like they have their schedule and they're like, fuck, we're not. Well, thank God we have this extra month where you can fix blank, blank, and blank.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, don't worry about it. Let's go to lunch early. It's Thursday. Fuck it. Let's just go home. We got a month. Like, it's not really like that. They bust their asses all the time.
It is funny to think that like, I would love to see the behind the scenes of like a game development studio, like for like a shitty game, like a G.I. Joe thing. And like, I guarantee you there are people working really hard.
Yeah.
And they're busting their ass. And then they put out this garbage game comes out and they're like, God damn it.
They're trying to make a career off it.
Let's find out if this person's actually a woman.
Oh, he first got catfished.
They bust their asses all the time.
Ooh, she's listening to us.
You're actually
Now you gotta
listening.
turn down your computer. Turn down your computer.
At least her mic's
Okay,
working.
sorry.
Oh, look at that! I can't believe it. Do you have a question about broken games?
Yeah, I do. I was wondering if, like, sorry if this has already been asked, but do you as gamers think that developers have an obligation to deliver the best product they can? Or, like, with Unity, do you think it's okay that such a valued series released such a broken game?
That's a really interesting question. Because, yeah, you're right. A lot of the conversation assumes it's a moral issue. Like, how dare they ask money from us? I've always seen it as a free market thing. If you as a consumer have noted that a certain dev studio or company tends to really squeeze out release dates and they put out a game when it's broken, they're not offending you by doing that. You still have the freedom to choose whether or not you give them money for that. So I can see being upset after the fact if you get something that's broken and you're like, fuck you. I paid money for this and you said it was going to work and it doesn't work. I get that. But to treat it as like this is an immoral thing you just did, well, no, that's the free market. You got fucked.
And
just learn how to not make it happen next time.
If Joel were here, he would say caveat emptor, which means buyer beware. So the thing is that basically it's up to us. Like if you bought something that's $60 and it doesn't work, then you're fucked. And like, yeah, you can absolutely go online and whine and complain and do all that other stuff, but they don't have much of an obligation to fix that. Now, if they want you back as a consumer, they will try and fix it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that, we just have to make wise decisions, like Lawrence said, and sort of use the developer's track record.
And then as a company, from their perspective, their job is to make the most money back for the money they spend. And the way they spend less money is by taking less time to develop a game. So if you're a company owner, you could argue you're doing the wrong thing by overspending to deliver a product that people are going to buy anyway.
Yeah.
So there are multiple ways to see it. Yeah.
I don't know. And Assassin's Creed is an interesting pick because I don't know who told them that they needed to put out 2 Assassin's Creed games last year.
God.
I think even they put out a 3rd one like on mobile or whatever.
Just accidentally.
Yeah, like
the China Chronicles one.
Yeah, we had some extra time. I would be okay with them. I would be okay with them doing one every 2 years or so, but I don't think Ubisoft would because they probably dumped a lot of money into this franchise, and they're probably starting to make their money back. But they have like 600 people working on these games, where typical development studios have like 200 to 300 at like crunch time. So, yeah, Assassin's Creed is an interesting one, but Syndicate's looking good.
I would say the core of it is, I really believe that no developers say, yeah, fuck the audience. I have never met a developer that got into games for the money. The developers usually do it because they love games and they want to make games. It's the publishers, and I don't want to pitch them as evil either. It's just a bunch of realities that they have to face down, which is they've got investors who are saying you have to earn more money right now, all the time. There's your own employees, which you can't push too far, and you want them to be happy. And then there's your customers, which you obviously have to satisfy because you want them to keep buying your product. So it's a really complicated problem, and I don't think it boils down to let's be lazy. That's too simple for what is ultimately a very complicated real-world development situation.
Thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
All right, talk to you later.
Restore Bruce's faith in humanity.
I know. I thought everybody was lying on the internet. Let's try this one.
Oh, that's a brony.
It's a real pony.
Hello, do you have a question about broken games?
Hi, I guess I had a question about...
Oh man, you're really quiet. Hold on, you're really, really quiet.
Sorry.
Oh, there you are. Try to get closer to your microphone if you can.
Okay.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, that's much better. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so I wondered if, since you answered earlier, if it's not really an obligation for companies to fix their games, but things like Batman, people know and respect and love, so why did they choose to ignore the PC problems?
They didn't ignore it. They yanked it and started patching.
Well,
No, I mean the month before.
During
Yeah, prior to release.
Well, I see, and that's what you just said. But go ahead.
I would just the PC market's usually much smaller, so they were. I mean, it may have been a calculated risk. It may have just been somebody ignoring the wrong email, but it was probably like, hey, this game's busted. Somebody was probably like, what are our sales expectations on PC? 750,000, maybe 1 million after it goes on sale. They're used to buggy games. Let's try it. And I'm sure that's what it was. So, there was a big uproar, so to save face, they pulled it. Or they pulled it because of refunds, I think, because that's like negative revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's. I think it's purely market force. And I bet if refunds weren't there, they would have left it.
Sure.
I don't think they care too much about sentiment. They care about money.
I mean, I also think that PC, we talked about this, when we were discussing Batman, but like complexity. So like,
way harder. Way harder.
If all of the 3 platforms were broken at the same time, and they looked at them, they said, "Well, we have a month. We can fix.
Yeah.
We can fix the millions and millions of PlayStations and the millions and millions of Xbox Ones. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to fix the PCs because it could be an NVIDIA driver issue or a, Windows 10 issue or like any number of complex issues related to the hardware and the software running that system."
This actually reminds me a lot of Firestone back in the 90s when they had the massive recall. They knew that the tires they were putting out were faulty, and they basically had a chart that said, well, it's a risk, but based on how many people who are going to die and how much we're going to get sued, a recall is not worth it. And then too many people died and too many accidents happened, and they said, we should recall now.
Well, it's
2020's on the phone.
There's a whole monologue about that in Fight Club.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
works. That's his job.
Yeah.
Is he is the dude who goes places and then he does the math. And if value Y is greater than value X, then they don't issue a recall.
So probably similar. There was probably a small committee, and someone said, "Hey, so the PC one's not going to hit its milestone." They're like, "Well, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
We're putting it out." And they're like, and then they probably played it and they said, "Ooh, it gets a C minus, maybe a D plus, but that's good enough for me. Put it out.
Yeah.
It's our least, it's the one we care the least about. So just put it out there." And hopefully Adam Kovic will get lucky and complete the whole thing.
It's usually a question of game halting bugs. And for some people, Arkham Knight was not playable or not finishable, which typically, from what I've heard that people that work at publishers, a game should not ever ship with a game halting bug. It can ship with any number of other bugs. But yeah, you're right. What these guys said, from what I've heard, is basically on point. It's all cost benefit. And if somebody can't finish the game, or if it doesn't even run, then the cost of releasing that product is much higher, because what we saw happen is going to happen.
Thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
I really hung up on her. Yeah, the other thing that you often, we preach this pretty often, I don't think people want to believe it, is that like, whenever you have a corporation, there's no soul. Thank you.
You're absolutely right,
Yeah.
Adam. It's just a corporation. They are there to make money.
Right, but they're like,
but they're people.
But no, I'm saying that there are individuals.
Nope, no individuals. Just machines and robot arms putting pieces of metal together.
I'm just saying.
See?
All right. Next caller. Hello. Do you have a question about broken games?
Wow.
Come on.
Hello?
That wasn't the soundboard. I'm sorry.
That was actually that was a real burp. You have a question about broken games?
Yes, I do.
All right, well then go right ahead and ask it.
So I kind of had a question more relating to the whole. Do you think that people are kind of venerating past games, that they're not really giving them the criticism that they deserve? Like how James said earlier about Super Mario 64, and my example, I guess, would be pandering to Lawrence, would be Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, I played that one.
Man, that game sucked.
What was Sonic Heroes?
It's called Sonic.
You controlled 3 Sonic characters at the same time.
Okay, it's not that faulty of a system. I mean, I mean, for sure, like the speed characters and the.
You're not here to defend Sonic Heroes.
Listen, Mr. Sega.
Nice try,
that
Sonic.
Is your real
So
name.
wait, so what's your question, Ricardo?
I would probably say that like do new games receive too much criticism based on
Got it.
kind of like the childhood eyes that we saw?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, 99% of all games that have ever come out ever are broken. And the older you get, the worse they are. And people don't seem to realize that, I guess because it's more mainstream or because there's a more there's a louder voice of people, like, because I mean, if you bought Rambo for the Nintendo Entertainment System,
horrible,
right? If you bought that and you took it home and then you rented it from somewhere, you took it home, you played it, and you couldn't figure things out, that was the end of the story with Rambo. That was the end of the story. You couldn't go to the internet, you couldn't start ranting about how Rambo ripped you off and stuff like that.
You know what you'd end up doing? You get like Stockholm Syndrome and you go, maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah,
like, you go back and like try and play a different way to see
You're like,
it.
I love Rambo and Rambo loves me. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, we as the gaming industry
Rambo would never hurt
consumers are basically an empowered yet formerly beaten housewife. We used to take it, right? We used to get the black eyes and we used to get hurt and everything, but we stepped out. But now sometimes we get into relationships with other people, other men or whatever, and we see symptoms of what we were used to dealing with before, and we get really angry and really defensive,
Well, now
which is
we-
justified because we've been abused.
Well, now we have the world's largest support group.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's other people going,
The internet.
no, girl.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
it ain't
take
your-
that.
No, don't take it.
Yep.
Which is true. You shouldn't take it.
No, you shouldn't.
You absolutely shouldn't take it. But it just means that now we with a past can come out and go, not again.
It is funny that we all kind of came from some form of like corporate child abuse.
Well, also
Jesus,
we may have to look back and go.
It's all elective. This is just entertainment.
I was going to say we may have to look back and be, maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe that relationship wasn't so bad. They did always say they loved me.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Nintendo always did.
And I did always have dinner on the table on
They
time.
always had dinner on the table.
Yeah.
No, I did.
Oh,
You know what? Sometimes it's important to remember the good times
Yeah.
and just, learn from the bad.
Like the wedding day.
Sometimes
I
I
had a busted lip, but
Sometimes I do speak up too much.
I'm pretty sure that the lip wasn't the thing that was busted on the wedding night.
boom!
All right, see you later.
Okay.
Let's this guy.
I didn't hear what he said.
He said gay.
You made a hymen
Not the only
joke.
thing that's busted on the wedding.
Hello.
Hi there, hi.
Do you have a question about broken games?
It's more about broken audiences.
Broken audiences. Please
like
go
it.
ahead and ask the
I like
question.
where you're going with this.
So, do you guys believe in the concept that audiences don't necessarily know what they want?
I
instance,
think
with,
I would say
Battlefront.
I agree that people don't know what they want until they're told what they want. Well, I think what people ultimately want is to be surprised, and that's always hard to do. Like, I want you to give me the thing that I want, but I can't describe it to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
From our experience, at least from my experience, audiences definitely know when they like what they're enjoying, and they definitely know when they don't like what they're enjoying, but they don't necessarily know how to tell you why, and there's a reason for that. I'll liken it to like food. If you're a foodie, you know exactly how to say what flavors you like, what textures you like, and what combines to create that. And you can eat something and say, this is good because it's got great mouthfeel, it's the right amount of salt with the right amount of... But if you're just somebody who likes eating and you don't really think about it, and kind of like you don't know really how to make a game, you don't know explicitly how to say this game is fun or not fun. You just know that you're not having fun. Yeah. So I think game makers view audiences in that way, which is that they tell us and they know when they're not having fun. But we have to kind of read between the lines to figure out why that is. And we do that with media creation a lot. We can tell when our audience doesn't like what they see, but the reasons for that don't exactly make sense from our perspective because we're the ones who made it. And they're trying to identify what we did or why we did what we did. We have our reasonings, they don't understand that, and that's fine. But it does mean that the audience is not necessarily on the same level of understanding about how that product is made to be able to analyze it and say what's going on.
I left like 10 minutes ago. Is Lauren still talking?
Thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
James had a thing to say.
Oh, go ahead, James.
I don't remember.
Sorry.
I should have written it down.
Lawrence was hitting on something kind of interesting that I think has is actually kind of come up with YouTube culture in general, where there are a lot of opinions on the internet. Way more opinions.
What a surprise!
Well, here's the thing. Like, we have all been impressionable at some point in our lives, probably still are today, where you probably might not have an opinion on a subject. Like, you saw Jurassic World and you're kind of like, okay, it was a movie. And then one guy goes, fucking movie. This was wrong. This is wrong. Everything was wrong. And you go, oh, I didn't think about that. I believe in that too now.
Yeah.
But you don't really. It's because we're impressionable. So now you will go to whichever YouTube you want. This is kind of the Fox News mentality, or like the news thing, where it's like, I'm just going to gravitate towards the people who I have thoughts in common with. And like Angry Joe said one thing one time that I really liked, so I'm going to stick to this guy, and anything he says, I will believe. But it's like, we always kind of preach like, just form your own opinion, man. Like, you don't have to have other people think for you. It's easier for sure, but mob mentality is scary.
I remembered what I was going to say because Adam cued me into it. I was just going to make a broader point, kind of similar to Adam's, which is that all human beings are individuals. Like, no one thinks the same as anyone else on this planet, and has the same preferences and likes and dislikes.
Except for the North Koreans.
Except for the North Koreans. They are totally on board.
God, that great leader, huh?
But,
what a guy.
But
praise him.
Despite that, it is human nature for most people to want to belong to some sort of group, or not feel like they are alone or the only person with that kind of thought. So that leads to individuals grouping themselves in with other groups, even though the thought process of that group is much more complex than whatever can possibly summarize it.
It's a big reason why prison scares me so much.
Yeah, it's all tribal.
What? Thanks for letting us talk at you for so long, Braden.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
I forgot my question.
And I was like, who is this? Hello,
man.
do you have a call? I mean, a question. I know you have a call. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Sorry. My question was mainly towards like similar to how y'all were talking about Call of Duty earlier. Do you believe like not is it more acceptable to have broken like multiplayer or single player, but do you think that people like find it I don't know, like it's weird, like
I don't know either.
It's weird. Sorry, I'm a little starstruck, I guess.
Starstruck? You're on Skype.
I just
burped
do
really
something
loud.
real quick. Take your pants down, put your cock and balls on the keyboard, and you will feel immediately relaxed.
Go ahead and do that.
You doing it?
All right.
Tell me when you're done.
Son, what are you doing?
There it is. That's me.
Did you do it?
Well, I can tell you yes. You'd never know.
He's like, I'm on
I'd know.
tablet.
I'd know.
Go ahead. I mean, if you have a question, you gotta get to it right now.
Yeah. All right. Do you feel like if a game like, let's say Call of Duty, for example, if a game has like multiple modes that it has to worry about, like the Treyarch series of Call of Duty has 3 separate modes to worry about. They have their zombies, multiplayer, and their campaign. Do you feel if one of those is like broken but the rest are all right, do you feel that's more acceptable than like
Is too much of a good thing bad?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm coming up with headlines for our YouTube video.
I've often said that like this happened with Metal Gear Solid 5 actually. It came out, everybody reviewed it, and then and like FOB invasions weren't on, Metal Gear Online wasn't on. And I remember some people on the internet being like, wait, how can you give it a score if you don't know how those are? They might be broken. The idea being that if you have this thing and that thing got a 9, but you bolt a broken thing onto it, that will take it down to a 7 somehow.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you get your money's worth, and that's cumulative on a product, it doesn't all need to work. If you find a mode or 2 modes or 8 modes that you enjoy and it's worth the money to you, then it's a good product for you.
It's a weird like risk reward sort of thing, because like GTA is the good example. GTA 5 as a single player experience, fantastic, 10 out of 10, perfect. You tack on the multiplayer though, now all of a sudden it's like, it didn't work so well. But what if it was never there in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, didn't need to be there. So it was sort of the thing. Like, I think when we reviewed it, we just discounted multiplayer entirely because it wasn't been out.
It wasn't out yet.
Yeah. Same when I mean, we used to do reviews. It's funny, but like I reviewed only a handful of games. One of them was Halo 4.
Yeah.
And I remember everyone's like, "What about the multiplayer?" I'm like, "I wasn't talking about the multiplayer. I only talked about the single player because that's all I got to play." And they're like, "Well, what about multiplayer?" I'm like, "That's up to you, dude. Like, I can't help you. I don't know. Just ignore it." But by me not playing multiplayer, I had a great time.
Like, even if you play multiplayer, what if you don't play big battle game modes? What if you never play Big Battle or you never play Capture the Flag?
Yeah.
You just like skirmishes. You don't like team skirmishes or whatever. Yeah. That's all you do. Does that mean that if team skirmish is slightly unbalanced when it does team matchmaking, the game should have a lower score for you personally? Like, I don't think so. No.
That's the problem. Like, when you start introducing things, those things can either be a pro or a con. And so I think like developers like Ubisoft now, they're saying like they just stopped doing the multiplayer because they're like, oh, no one's playing it. And that seems to be kind of the low point of the review where they're like, oh, the multiplayer's okay, but you don't really need it. Yeah. Why? What's the point?
Assassin's Creed multiplayer was actually pretty cool. I liked it.
So to answer your question, yes.
Yeah.
3, please.
No. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Play sound,
Yeah, no
Falcon
problem.
Punch.
Okay, bye.
Sonic
You
Heroes.
want Falcon Punch?
Falcon Punch!
Finish him.
All right,
Same game, I love it.
Let's see here. Hello, do you have a question?
Hello?
Hello. Oh my gosh, are you in a tornado?
Maybe. I'm in Dallas, so yeah.
Good question.
What's your question?
Kobe! Instead of talking about broken games, can I talk about a girl?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Gotcha, bitch!
No, never mind. Okay, so, it's basically about, like, how do you feel about games?
The soundboard's the worst.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
there's a 4-year-old on
How do
our
you feel about games that
computer.
came out
playing stuff.
a while ago, like Counter-Strike. And
Bruce?
how that was broken. Basically, until, like, on a couple days ago when they changed up the models and the hitboxes.
Broken is really strong for what Counter-Strike was,
Also-
given that it was a multinational, professionally competitive game that millions of people played.
Yeah,
every day.
no, yeah, it wasn't really broken, but it's just in certain scenarios you could just not kill a person. Just,
Yeah, that happens.
Maybe it's because you weren't very good. Did you
No,
think of
I'm
that?
better than you.
Because that's honestly that's what I end up defaulting to. Because Counter-Strike has been a game for 15 years, I want to
Yeah,
say,
there's that abusive relationship
almost
talk.
20. And at this point, I know if I died, then I wasn't very good. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I play a lot of Counter-Strike, so you know, like there are times I'm like, oh fuck, that guy was hacking, or oh man, that was fucking lucky, or whatever. But if he got lucky, and I died. And the game itself has been sort of the same game for so long that I think that Valve is really good at perfecting games, and it's very close to perfection. So I think saying the game was broken is a far cry.
I see, bro.
Well, I guess
they changed up a lot. Like they went from hitboxes
Yeah, the radial hitboxes.
to hit bubbles.
Yep. It's because it's a lot easier to compute that in a latency-rich scenario. A lot of fighting games use radial-based hit detection as well. It's it's just more accurate and faster.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it a lot better now.
Cool. Well, that's good.
That's a good sign. I mean,
Thanks.
I don't know.
What? No, go ahead.
Never mind.
That's a good sign.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say to him? I hung up on him.
Well, I
so
was
you
gonna
can't
say, I
talk
guess
anymore.
this is a question for you guys because you might be able to answer quicker. But what would you consider? What would you consider a perfect game?
StarCraft 2.
That is not a video game.
Chess.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, chess is probably
Now,
Go.
is there at any point during a chess match that something could go wrong?
Like,
Where, like-
somebody sneezes and knocks over the board.
I don't know. Like maybe
Yeah.
someone makes an illegal
That's a good
move
example.
and someone doesn't catch it, or like an outside force. Like
Oh, I see.
Those
what I'm
exist.
saying is there's almost no scenario where something. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, say a gust of wind comes in and knocks all the pieces over. Like, what the fuck happened? Like I don't remember. Like they're like, well, we got to call the game. Like, well, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
It was the wind. The wind did it. And
Yeah.
it's like, what do you? So in a game like Counter-Strike, it's like, well, there was a lag ping. Why?
Yeah.
Because someone was downloading a torrent 4 blocks down from
Right,
you
yeah. right.
that had nothing to do with you, but it affected you. So it's like, there will always be a level of human error, even with a game that's perfect, like chess.
Well, it's basically called an act of God, and the more that I guess the more video games have the
Say that
potential.
next time I lose any game.
I was gonna say,
Act of
God,
God! Act of God!
God was downloading that BitTorrent.
Well, they have potential for
love trannies.
and they have potential for act of God a lot
could just
more
make one.
than like a chess game or a checkers game, right? Because if that's in a controlled environment, you're not going to have those sorts of things happen. But a video game, like we said, lag, bugs, all sorts of different things that you cannot control, and it's just sort of one of those things you accept when you pay $60 for a game.
Also, I want to clarify when I made the tranny joke, that was only because that is a category on porn sites, not a derogatory term I was trying to use.
Individuals, individuals
Is there a transsexual sound effect?
setting themselves in a group.
Well, let's
Sure.
let's see.
I was just going off of the websites. Sorry. Take it up with xvideos.com.
What you meant was transgender.
That's what I meant.
Hello, do you have a question, Nathan?
Yeah, actually, I was just curious.
They're called traps.
With it seems like people now nowadays actually go out of their way to find broken issues in games rather than enjoying them. Like, do you guys feel that people expect a broken game rather than something that's like perfectly polished?
I think yes. I think you should absolutely expect the game is broken, and I'm not kidding. Star Wars Battlefront I pre-ordered, and I will be playing the game the first night, and I'm fully expecting the thing not to work. And I'm gonna be really fucking upset.
Why is that?
But because I know that there's going to be millions of people trying to play the game at the same time.
It's a complex product that is heavily desired.
Yep.
Thus,
I
you
mean,
shouldn't expect it to
server
be
issues
perfect.
aside, though, I mean, like, obviously that's just going to be with a flood.
Well,
of
hold
people,
on.
but
You can't just say server issues aside.
Well, I think
That's the first night. So I'm like, for example, 6 months down the road, if Battlefront still doesn't work, then you're absolutely right. You know, like, oh man, like If it's server issues 6 months down the road, there's a problem. But that first night, second night, like you got to give this thing a little bit of time to sort of settle. And that's what I'm learning about video games online. That's just the way it goes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your question is more like, do you think the audience is going out of their way to look for those problems and drum up trouble around them?
Exactly. Like they seem to be like, it's instead of like trying to enjoy the game itself, you got the people out there that are trying to find the problems within the game to exploit it and then saying, oh, look, the game is broken, look at blah, 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 rather than enjoying the game itself and then, that sort of thing. Yes, Lawrence, you're correct.
I've often been perplexed by that sort of sentiment of like, you'll see a very vocal group of people being like, this game is broken, this blah, blah, blah. But you won't see a lot of positive stuff because typically those people are playing the game and they're not looking for a place to praise it.
Okay.
They praise it silently, and if you don't like something, you're going to be very vocal about it. So it always kind of looks offhanded anyway. Because it blows my mind sometimes when I just see people who all they do is talk about games. It's like, when do you play something? Like, God, man, like just put your fingers down and fucking pick up a controller. Like, chill the fuck out.
Nathan, I got a question for you. Do you think people are looking for problems when games launch?
It seems that people have become a little more desensitized to the whole fact. So it seems like they, like you say, with Battlefield coming out, people are going to be looking for that stuff. They're going to be looking for the flaws, things like that, just to pick it apart and say, oh, it's not a good game. When it is a good game, but just because they've gone out of their way to find those flaws, they're sort of bashing it and trying to downplay the game itself. So it seems that it's more common nowadays that games get sort of a bad rap for that stuff because people have gone out of their way rather than, going to the developer and saying, hey, this is the fact, hey, you need to fix this. They sort of just jump all over it and make the game look worse.
I think it's an expectations thing. I think the people that get the most upset are the people who are the most excited. And I can kind of relate to that because like a situation I'm currently dealing with is that I am pissed at Rock Band 4 because it's not going to support any of the instruments, like especially at launch, at least. It's not going to support any of the instruments that I have played for so long. But if I took 1 second and I stopped and I thought about it, I go, well, those are controllers, and those controllers are from how many years ago? Like 6 to 8 years ago or something like that. Those are really old controllers.
Right.
And so if I wanted to play Rock Band with an Xbox 360 controller, it wouldn't work either.
I was going to say, by that logic, you should be getting mad that the PlayStation 4 doesn't support the DualShock.
Yeah, so I guess maybe I should check myself at the door.
Thanks for the call, Nathan. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
You ruined it.
No, I think I made it better.
No,
Cinched it in.
He understood. Let's go this person. They've been calling for a while. Hello, do you have a question?
Ooh.
Hello?
He can't hear you. Talking to the side of his head that doesn't have hair on it.
You better cut it out right now or I'll pound you.
Gosh, these are...
This is the worst.
That's
all right.
That was a car bomb.
Yeah. It says car and then bomb.
Bruce, hit the red button. Bruce, hit the red button.
Hold on.
Hold
on.
Wait, try it one more time, see what happens. Oh, same sound.
I thought that would have fixed it.
Thanks for your call.
Check your Skype settings.
All right. Hello, do you have a question?
Hello?
Hi, do you have a question for us about broken games? You got to listen. I can hear the whistle. Here, enjoy these. You can have these too. Bye bye.
Oh no! He was there.
Well,
oh,
it
poor
happens.
guy.
Do you have a question for us about broken games?
Hello. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. I was not expecting you to answer.
We did it.
Right. So basically, I don't know if you guys know about the new Need for Speed game, which just delayed on PC.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
No, good.
And because it was locked at 30 FPS, do you think this is EA changing their ways? Because I know there's this big circle jerk about EA being the devil or whatever. Do you think this is game developers understanding PC gamers now, or is this the start of it, or is it just them delaying PC games?
That's a really good question.
It's and it's phrased in a troubling way, because the assumption from the consumer side is good. They're finally understanding what we want. What I'm afraid is from the development side, they'll be like, "Fuck me, these guys are not going to buy a game unless it has 60 FPS, 4K, like all these features." They're just, and then they look at the giant graph of the like 700,000 units they might sell, and then like all the money it's going to take to develop those features that PC gamers are insisting are standard, and they're going to be like, we're not gonna make any money. Let's just not do it, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good that this is happening. It means that audience is kind of getting what they are. Oh, Skype crashed.
Oh, that's all right. You can keep talking. It's fine.
Anyway.
We're done anyways.
Yeah, well, I was kind of done too.
Well, no, I mean, you bring up a good thing there. Like, there will always be a vocal, I don't want to say a minority, but there'll be a vocal group. So say you have a game like Need for Speed, and it doesn't run at 60 frames, and it doesn't run at 4K. But there is data that shows that, like, Steam or someone, was it Steam Powered or one of those sites, like
Steam Spy?
Steam Spy was
yeah.
one. They released it, like, it says something like only like 28% of all Steam users play their games in 1080p.
Yeah.
And it was like the staggering number where you're like, oh, fuck me.
There's a lot of cyber cafes in China that run Dota 2 at 640 by 480.
And they're playing on like a 4x3 screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, can you imagine how frustrating it'd be from your perspective where you're like, we don't want to put this thing in because the majority of people, like, it's sort of like how we don't film our videos in 4K because we're like, who has a 4K TV right now besides
watching
James
it on their damn phone
as he sits on top of his castle?
Mm-hmm. James, you have a 4K TV?
I do.
Holy
have you watched
shit,
anything in
that's
4K on it yet?
Yeah.
So we watched some slow mo guys.
We watched some. Actually, yeah, we watched slow mo guys.
That's awesome.
It's not really that different.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, the grass, it's just contrast. Now it just looks like someone turned the contrast up a little bit. And I'm sure it'll be awesome later. I haven't tried actually plugging my PC up to it.
Oh, yeah.
But could you imagine the frustration where you had a large group of people who are demanding a product and they're all demanding different things. And you know that the majority of them would be satisfied if you just did the bare minimum. But you're going to get pushback and negative feedback if you didn't go above and beyond for the 3%. How frustrating would that be?
Yeah.
That's where I'm just putting myself in their shoes. With that said, though, I think when game developers start pushing the limits and doing more things like that, it makes me as a consumer want to upgrade. Yeah. So like when Far Cry 4 didn't work very well on my PC, I got a new graphics card. Yeah. I was like, I want this game to run well. And it did. It ran better when I got a 980. And I was like,
I want a 980.
Hey, 980 is great.
Kind of waiting on playing
Bruce
Witcher
did the
3.
same thing. I remember his computer was just shit in the bed every day. And he was like, fuck it. And he bought a computer with like SLI. And all
Yeah,
this
you bet I did. Well, it was like one of those
stuff.
things I knew I could write off for work, but also I know it was going to last me 5 or 6 years.
You can write almost
Are you
anything
getting
up.
for taxes?
Yeah, for taxes.
Yeah. So like I didn't.
It's inexpensive.
I basically didn't have to pay for it. But regardless,
It's
it
not
was
how
one.
tax exemption works.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah,
It's
that's
not free money. It means you just don't pay taxes on that money.
All right,
Hey,
well,
thanks
that's the end of
thanks
the
for your
FAQ
call
pod.
about taxes and tax advice.
Thank you for calling in, honestly, guys. We appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll keep doing this as much as we possibly can.
Can you hit Falcon Punch one more time?
What the heck? There's no delivery.
Well, then
There's a bomb is a different button.
Hold on.
Yeah. And then...
Good thing we dropped that car out of the window.
We'll see you next week.
Operation Iraqi Freedom. We got 14 Chryslers in the back of this plane.
What's the weirdest experience we've had with a fan at a convention?
I mean, some people get nervous. Like, some people just, like, walk up, which I don't understand. Like, I don't understand when people are nervous. Like,
You were nervous around Tim Schafer.
Yeah, but Tim Schafer has accomplished things with his life.
You look at you. You're wearing a hat. You're on a stage.
Why are you doing that?
Vote Mega 64.
What's wrong with your hands?
I'm wearing all Mega 64 gear. These are the Mega 64 fingerless gloves.
Mega 64.
Welcome to FAQ Podcast 11. We made it all up into those double digits. We're taking your calls live. And
Remember when we were playing Lego Jurassic Park?
I do.
For like, we almost beat that game.
I got a.
Well, we beat one.
We beat Jurassic Park.
Got my soundboards
One.
here.
Yeah. I say we. I mean you and Joel.
Nice.
Nice work.
All right, I guess let's take our first.
What are we talking about today?
Nothing. It's up to you guys.
We're taking all questions, any and all comers. This ain't even a video game podcast. We're answering questions about cars. We're answering your question about life.
We're not talking about nothing.
Movies.
We're talking about everything.
Yeehaw! So, yeah, please, for the love of God, have your question ready. Hello, caller. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
That's good to hear.
Just wanted to ask if you guys were going to collaborate with Bro Team Pill again anytime soon, like you guys did back on the other channel.
I see.
The other channel. I mean,
which will not be spoken.
we trying to collaborate with as many people as possible. I think we've kind of drifted apart from Bro Team. I'm still a fan. I still watch his videos and stuff, but I feel like we've just kind of drifted apart. The problem is basically that there are a lot of people out there to collaborate with, and I guess this is kind of our fault. He's kind of hard to pin down.
Well,
he's Canadian, that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the real problem is we want to do a lot of collaborations, but it's really hard to like set up the collaborations. That's why we had so few of them. One of the things that I would like to do in the future is have a weekly collaboration show where every week we've got somebody different. Honestly, it's a question of manpower right now. We've only done 3 or 4 of them in the 7 months we've been here, because it's just like coordinating with the guys who are on the phone, getting their footage, making sure that we're all on the same page.
For some reason, we always bend over back. Like, we'll usually go to people and stuff like that. Like, I feel like we're usually the ones that are going and like.
Yes, also, we are the victims.
Also, brutal honesty here is that like collaborations are generally used to grow your channel, and
brutal.
Like, I mean, no, it's brutally honest only because like Bro Team's channel isn't bigger than ours right at the moment,
and the fan crossover is really big.
And that's the thing. There's already a lot of people that, like, for example, yourself. There's already a lot of people that know, like, both of us and associate the two groups already. So it's kind of strange. Like, obviously, we do a lot of stuff with Achievement Hunter, but that's because we're under the same metaphorical roof.
But if you look at the other guys that we've done collaborations with, like Louis Caliber or like The Creatures or Super Panic Frenzy, there's not a lot of crossover in those audiences.
Yeah, we're trying to build new audiences by
PewDiePie.
I mean, the thing, we're not ruling anything out, obviously. Right now it is purely I think, like Joel said, a manpower thing. There's a reason that you haven't seen a collaboration from us with anyone else in a while.
Since C-Nanners.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you for calling.
Wait, Lawrence.
Thanks.
We can say goodbye. Thank you for calling.
He hung up on himself.
I have a question for you, Lawrence.
What's up?
Do we have a theme for today?
No.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me take it out here.
Anus madness.
I know. We took that call and pointed at anus madness. Jurassic Park.
Isn't that what that's what they used to call? They said women in like the 1930s.
Oh yeah.
They had anus madness if they
they got around.
If they slept around. Yeah.
They would anus madness, over hysteria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey.
All right, well, let's throw it back to the phone.
Wait, you didn't answer my question.
Hello, thank you for calling. I just played it. Hello, thank you for calling. What's your question?
It's anything.
Oh, holy shit.
No, it's
Hi.
anything.
No.
So, my question is, you guys have done 2 Dude Soup lives now.
That's true.
Within that, do you guys see was there enough success with the first and second one for you to warrant more Dude Soups?
I think so.
Let's all answer at the same time. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Bro Team Pill.
So.
Yes.
No. Yeah, we want to keep doing it. We don't want to oversaturate everyone on it. Like, the timing of the last one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because there was an event. We would like to see kind of how it goes when we're just doing it somewhere where there isn't something going on, to see kind of who shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So right now we've done 2 tests. One is a test during an event where people actually paid for tickets, so that way we can go to a venue and let people in.
Yep.
The other test was we did it at the YouTube space, where it was just kind of first come,
free.
first serve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was at that one.
And I think both went pretty well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We sold out Seattle, and we also were capacity for YouTube.
We had a couple criticisms about the Seattle show, which was that we didn't get to hang around very long afterwards.
My main criticism for the Seattle show,
the venue kind of booted us. We saw as many people as we could, but we were asking beforehand, like, how much time are we going to have? Are we going to be able to meet and greet? And they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. And then we had like 30 minutes, and then the owner came out and was like, everybody out.
Well, I think they just underestimated what a meet and greet might be for us, because we like to hang out.
And the owner said, like, what he kind of said to me when he was walking by, was like, we're just trying to like help you guys not get stuck here all night or whatever. Like, he was kind of doing it to kind of push us. He pushed us outside, and then he pushed us outside, and he like brought us back into like us. Like, after we got in there, he was like, we were just kind of doing that so like you guys could leave.
So the big thing is the venue that we were at in Seattle, not a small venue, but they're like very much a music venue. They don't serve any alcoholic beverages.
All ages venue.
It's an all ages venue, which is very cool for as many people that want to get in there as possible. But in the future, it might be the kind of thing where we want to have like alcohol or
perform somewhere that doesn't host poetry slams.
Do something like that. Maybe even like have merch that we can sell there. I don't know. It's really not just a ploy to.
Did they buy the shirt off your back?
Honestly, it's really not a ploy to just get more money. Like it is a ploy to kind of diversify what we do. What we do as a group and stuff. And my idea when we've been thinking about doing this for a long time, but my idea was it would be nice if we could find a way to legitimize ourselves as comedic personalities.
That's impossible.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that might be impossible.
You just want to do stand-up.
I did do some stand-up. I practiced my stand-up.
It was really good.
Thank you,
James. You sprouted on stage. It was like a wilting flower getting sunlight for the first time.
It's like the panels. That's the thing. After doing panels at all these events, it's so fun to like have that energy with an audience.
Yeah,
like people that are into it and like feeling it, and
as opposed to like where you're just doing it here and it's just me and Spool
that
watching.
Middle picture right there. Hold on. No,
Yep, that's
not
it.
that. Wait, that's
from Community.
Wait, down. Go. The picture at the very bottom. There you go. Look at my face.
Well,
look how happy I am.
Oh,
See?
you are adorable.
See, look how happy I am. Just smiling.
Look how not
Hey,
happy
wait,
Bruce
hold
is
on.
though.
I'm wearing
Watch
the
Bruce's
exact
face. Watch it change.
Look, I'm wearing the same shirt I'm wearing now. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah, we hope to do more.
Jules, does that? Wait, no. Who was that? Who was on the? Oh, Jordan.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
sorry.
They're all
Jordan.
ghosts anyway.
Yeah. Also, we're not going to say your name because who knows? People may try and find you on Skype.
Oh, I didn't say his last name.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I say
that's
until
why
it
we're
becomes
being
a
rude.
problem. We dox
Jordan
everyone that
Williamsby.
Hopefully that
That's not
answers your
right.
question. Look for Dude Soup Live coming to a town near you if you live near a major city. Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, because the YouTube Space one was so much fun. Like I went to that one, that was a blast. And I'm just hoping that there's gonna be more for me to more that you guys do live that that people can go to, because that was a blast and everybody should experience something like that.
This isn't set in stone, but we might be doing a Halloween.
What? I didn't even know about that.
Spooky Halloween.
We might be doing a spooky Halloween
cast.
show.
Are we gonna be dressed up?
That's what I'm pushing for.
Yeah.
I already know what costume I'm gonna have too. If we do that, but that's nothing is set in stone for that. But we'll let you know first.
James will be dressed as the marvelous Mad Madam Mim from The Sword and the Stone.
Nailed it.
Nice. Relevant.
You don't have to pity laugh. It's okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling.
Of course.
Thanks.
Have a great day, guys.
You too.
You too.
Yeah. That was nice. It's always nice to talk
You
to
know,
people,
it's
right?
good that people come to the things
I
that
like Jordan.
we do.
All right, who's got the most appealing avatar?
Platinum Shaft. Oh,
Uh,
you lost it. He's way under there.
yeah. Hold on.
There's a
I'm
little
dragging.
stack on
I'm
there.
dragging. I'm dragging.
Stack,
Dragon.
stack,
Dragon.
stack,
Old
dragon,
man.
stack.
Dragon. Dragon.
I know, it's me.
Oh, geez.
God, everyone's
We'll
gonna.
go with this.
You're gonna.
Hello.
Holy balls.
Oh, hello.
Hey, how you doing? Not well? You die? You dead?
Oh no.
He's got a terminal
That's that
case of
one.
mute.
Oh.
Hello?
You're a little murmured there.
What's going on? No. Nice.
I'm gonna give you some of these. Hold on. There we go. All right.
You got the moo.
So rude. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
Ooh.
Hello?
Hey. Your mic's just a little low, but that's okay.
What?
Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Lay it on us.
Would you like to ask us that question?
Let him ask it.
Yeah, sorry about that. I turned you guys down. So you can't keep doing YouTube forever. So what's your plan for when you need to quit?
Vimeo. We're gonna do Vimeo.
Gonna diversify to Vimeo,
Virtual
Ustream.
reality.
Well, like I said, I was hoping to legitimize us as entertainers slash comedians slash anything. I don't know.
Stream?
I don't know. I mean, I think that whether it's on YouTube or not, I think internet video is here to stay.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
whether we're on camera like dumb video game jokesters or not, there are lots of jobs that are in digital media that don't necessarily involve playing video games for a living. I'm rarely on the streams or gameplays, and
It's because you're not funny.
It's because I'm not funny, and I'm bad at video games, and I'm lazy mainly.
It's because you do stuff behind the scenes.
But yeah, there's like stuff that I do that can help other channels, and so when we're 45 or 55, I don't know if necessarily any of us want to be doing exactly what we're doing now, but we're all sort of forging different paths, I think.
Yeah, and I think part of the perks of this job, one of the major ones, is that we kind of get to work on the things that interest us, like whether we really like editing or like graphic design or managing, like people management, learning, because we're kind of like our own little entity. We have a company that we work for, but we are responsible. Right now, we made a decision and we collectively were like, oh, now's a good time to do the FAQ.
Yeah.
So we should do it. And then Lawrence got up and started organizing everything, and then he was like, all right, let's do it now. So like we are kind of responsible for our own fates. So the things that interest us are the things we kind of gravitate towards while we're trying to keep the channel up and running. So, you know, I guess that will lead into wherever we end up in 15 years, hopefully.
I feel like most of us, like as you get older, you just we would drift more to behind the scenes stuff and not necessarily on camera stuff for the most part.
Except for you, Spool.
No.
You're gonna be more and more
the
on
next
camera.
Brad Pitt.
No, God, no.
The next Brad Pitt.
I'd be Fight Club 2.
Lawrence, what are you gonna be doing in 15 years?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess that's a weird question to ask, because the people who are successful now found a way to carve a path through media that wasn't figured out yet. So that skill, I think, will persist even after this media is gone. And if, like, people ask, oh, you guys are talentless, what would you do if you didn't have YouTube? Well, we'd figure it out. We'd figure something else out that works, whether it's doing traveling shows or mailing VHS tapes.
A magazine.
Everyone jump in the old wagon. We're doing a traveling road show.
show you how much I
can lift on the bench press.
It's just because it's our personalities or our work ethic and stuff would still be there.
I have a question for you. Where do you think we will be in 15 years?
Well, I have no idea, but if you ever want to like give away the channel to someone, I mean, you can't see it right now, but I am pointing to my face, and I know someone who would like to take it.
Done.
To give you our channel.
Done.
Hey, buddy, 15 years from now, if we're still doing this, we may seriously consider it.
No questions asked.
Yeah, sure. Hit me up. I'll do it.
Watch, he'll have
I'm
a
not
bigger
sure that's
channel.
how YouTube works, but
No, it's absolutely how
got it.
Watch him have a bigger YouTube channel than us 20
Oh,
years from
yeah.
now, and then we want to give it to him, and he
5,000
doesn't want
views,
it.
Actually, yeah.
Cool. Thanks for your question.
Wait, hold on, Cass. That's one more thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, why did James and Lawrence watch such entry-level shit pleb tier anime?
Why do you watch shitty anime?
What do I live?
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up. You're breaking up there. Sorry, lost you.
Entry level shitty anime. I don't even know what that means. First of all, to be watching anime, it can't be entry level. You already have to be some degree of nerd.
Well, oh yeah, I guess that's true.
I think he means like we're not
Naruto
watching
be
the
like
hardcore shit
entry-level?
like dads sleep with their daughters and ask tough
Dragon
questions
Ball
about
Z,
incest
would that
and
be
shit.
entry-
Yeah, Dragon Ball. The only thing I could think would be Dragon Ball Z, Naruto.
Well, let's get on
maybe
4chan
One
and argue
Piece,
about
but
anime.
Attack on
That'd be
Titan
pro.
is entry level shit.
I guess so.
It's
on
entry
Netflix.
level shit now, but if you watched it when it was
Before,
kind of
yeah.
going, it wasn't. Now it's mainstream.
We could be these guys with little patches on our jackets, thumbs upping.
You're assuming I don't have patches on my jackets
giant
already?
Who do I
Fucking
get to be?
watermark over all of our faces.
Oh, you get to be the girl with the short hair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Or her.
what I was
I'm
thinking.
down with
Who
that.
am
She's got
I?
a strong chin.
You're the guy with the elbow patch.
Blonde?
Yeah, you're the blonde
I'd say
because
Jesus.
I want to be the blonde
The
woman.
most attractive dude.
Blonde woman. Oh,
Blonde
yeah.
woman.
There we go. That's him.
all right.
All right. Hey, I remember your username, Archaic Bro. What's up?
Oh, excuse me. Hi.
You don't sound that archaic to me, but how's it going?
Oh, I'm nursing a cold and I'm really cold now, and I'm having an extension.
He put his thumb in
Sorry,
his mouth.
I think you swallowed your mic, or it's in some other orifice.
Hello?
Hey,
Yeah, I
that's
can
a
hear
little
you.
better.
Cool.
All right, do you have a question for us?
Yeah. When you guys were younger, how did you deal with like deciding what career to sort of enter?
How do we deal with what?
How did deciding what your career would be? Is that basically what you asked?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, none of us did. That's kind of the weird thing about being
kinda
young is you assume that you have to know where you're going, but there's a lot of time that happens between being young and being old, or like us.
You get smart. You get more wise.
Yeah. And in all those years, you have time to try things out and change your mind. Like I got a degree in computer science.
I was just gonna play like what? Let's play a game. I was just gonna say let's play a game called What Was Your Major in College, Lawrence?
Computer science, and I got a job out of college doing hardcore programming and quit that and changed tracks because I realized that that specific thing wasn't what I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing.
James, what was your major in college?
Media production and creative.
Never mind. You don't count. Go home.
Mine was broadcast production.
Jesus.
Ah, suckers. We had our life on track.
Yeah, you really did. It only took you 15 years to get here.
I wanted to be a lawyer when I was in high school for a long time, basically until like almost I graduated. And was
What kind
like
of a lawyer?
A corporate lawyer, actually, because lots of money.
Oh,
and it's pretty easy.
Cool. I was an anthropology and fine arts majors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
not surprising
you're
at all.
probably really rich, huh, millionaire?
So if you ever want to talk about Australopithecines,
Nope,
here I am.
no one does. Turns out no one does.
But the real answer is like I feel like especially in college, like in high school, there's no real way of kind of figuring out what you want to be when you grow up, unless you've wanted to be it your whole life already.
Mm-hmm.
But like by the time you get to college and you kind of see what everything is out there, that's when you get a better idea. And even then, by the time you're a senior in college, you're still kind of like, I think this is what I like. I'm gonna go do this, and then you'll do that for a little while probably, and then realize you either don't like it or you do like it, or
I found that I loved going. Like I loved the classes I took in college. I have a lot of regrets about classes I didn't take, but I did find that my extracurricular activities had a lot more bearing on my future career path than my actual courses of study.
So there's certain things that you'll be drawn to, and this may not happen right away, it may not happen to you yet, but it will happen eventually, that you'll be drawn to something, and those are pretty good indicators that that's what you should be headed for.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on a mini map, you see this blip where it's constantly saying, go northeast, and it may not be the next objective, but eventually you'll kind of end up there. So for me, like, I liked wrestling a lot as a kid.
Nerd.
And I wanted to be a wrestler. And then eventually I decided...
But like WWE wrestling.
Yeah, like well, no. The only honest... Ironically, the only version of wrestling that makes any money.
Right.
Which is none. But I wanted to be a wrestler, and then I decided I wanted to be a doctor.
Oh.
But that's only because my grades were really good.
Oh,
so I was
I'm
like,
smart.
I guess I should do something.
What went wrong?
And then I wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to be a wrestler again. Went to college and was kind of like, wow, all through high school I took drama. Like I took drama class and acting, and I really enjoyed it. So maybe I should be a drama major. So I was doing that, took 2 years worth of drama classes, which were all the acting classes, and then they were like, all right, we need you to start building sets.
And you decided, I don't need all this drama in my life.
Well, kind of, yeah. I was like, they want you to start building sets and doing drama theory and all kinds of stuff like that. And I said, no, thank you. And then I changed majors.
Yeah.
So, but still, like, I still like performance. Like we were talking about Dude Soup Live. I still kind of enjoy that. So I'm glad that I've gotten back into something that I can utilize.
Yeah, and I went through like 2 years of just like kind of general college before I even decided I want to work in TV and stuff like that. And then one day I was like, I really like TV. I hate what I'm doing now. I'm going to try and do that. And I did.
Smart.
Got it.
And here we are.
So
Not
yeah,
on TV.
Looking
takeaway,
at the skeleton.
while you're in school and you have kind of the safety net of your parents paying for everything,
Or not.
Or
the
not.
government paying for stuff.
well, if you're paying for stuff, then you have to start compromising. Then you have to be like, okay, what can I get paid for while I work towards where I want to be? But if you're still in a place where your life circumstances are being provided for, please, like, try a lot of things, develop skills. If you're drawn to something, do it on your own time. And then, yeah, just see where it takes you. See what opportunities you can get, and you'll figure it out.
There's a ton of value as well to not just rushing into college. I know that's, at least in the United States, that is the standard. You already have your college like path set up before you finish high school. But the more and more I think about it, I'm like, if people just kind of like took like a year of not school after
Go
high
party
school
and go like travel and
walk around
everything.
Europe.
to have to make money for themselves
Oh,
or
yeah.
pay or like work a job and realize that school days really aren't that long and homework doesn't take that much effort and all kinds of things like that.
It does though sometimes.
So if you did that, then you would probably be like, I know what I want to do. Like, I want to be an electrician, or I love building things. I want to study this. And you may save a lot of money not going to college because of trade.
I mean, my problem is I've thought about going to grad school for a variety of different degrees. And then when I think back, because everyone's like, college was so much fun, and college was a lot of fun.
all
and
this
like,
fun these guys are having.
yeah, but also like I also remember staying up literally 36 hours to like finish,
your fine art.
Yeah, like projects, like papers, projects, theses, or whatever it was, and just it's like that aspect of it absolutely sucked. So I think that if I were like have left high school and then gone into the real world where like for a year or two where I'm dictating my own schedule and doing my own thing and like can go out when I want to go out and you just have a 9 to 5, I would start saying to myself, well, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe I don't need to go back to school because school's hard, man.
Well,
School
yeah,
sucks.
but I think you're thinking of school in terms of how it was for you then. I think the work ethic that you have now would probably be influential. You'd be like, I'm gonna go home and read that textbook, or like I'm gonna start working on this paper now.
The textbook I'm reading right now is the Dungeon Master's Guide to D&D.
That's your homework, right?
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
fun.
Like,
You enjoy
like,
that.
You would be like, I'm gonna go start reading now. I'm gonna start working on this paper now, and then it wouldn't be 36 hours at the end because I know that my work ethic in college was not.
Same here.
That.
See, I kind of feel like my work ethic in college was maybe better than it is now.
Oh, really?
Because I have the income and age to buy alcohol. Whereas when I was younger, I had to beg it off of people whenever there was an opportunity, and it wasn't always there. But thank you for calling, and I hope that was
thanks
helpful.
for your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, you're super clear now. Pop that mic out. Hold on a second. Let me send you away
Is
with
that
something.
person picking that girl's nose?
Don't send him. Oh.
Your mama is so fat that she had to get baptized at SeaWorld.
That robot's hilarious.
Stephen Hawking is a dick.
Thank you for calling.
Let's
Yeah, I got out of here.
Platinum shafts.
And I remember being young and being like, God, I wonder what being old is like, or just being an adult and like working. Yeah,
It's like this. You host podcasts.
I take solace in knowing. I take solace in knowing that when I was young, I was like, guys, this is the fucking best. Whereas everyone was like, I wish I was an adult or whatever. And then when we were in college, people were like, oh, I hate this. I'm like, guys, this is the fucking best, right? It's not going to get any better than this. And right now, I'm like, my life is the best it's ever been.
Adam
It's not
Sandler
going to
in
get
that
any
movie.
better
You
than
had
this.
you had no responsibilities. I mean, I don't know.
You're Billy
It's
Madison.
great.
It's good to appreciate that you are in the good old days while you're in them.
Yeah.
You never want to think back and be like, God damn it was so much better then.
Are we in the good old days right now?
For me, I'm like, man, my life is awesome right
Yeah,
now.
same here.
Like,
Same for me. Fuck me.
I'm so happy in my life right now. Awesome.
Awesome.
Let's take another call.
All
Nice,
right.
thanks.
That's
That's me
us.
killing myself, by the way.
All right. Hello and welcome to the show.
Nice avatar.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
Good. I wanted to know if there was an event that you've never been to that you'd like to do a live event at.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
that's a
say
twist.
I thought you were gonna say any sort of event we could attend.
I would like to do a state fair, and I'm not joking about that. I think it would be pretty cool to like set up and just start like riffing and seeing the folk just rolling through, being like, "What the?"
Lawrence, did you ever do those when you were in your music
Yes.
band?
Cool. I'm glad you asked. It was like a
music band.
He was in a band with his family. Or
No,
whatever,
but you
right?
don't call it a music band,
I know.
as
It was
opposed to
like
those
a-
other bands that play
You know.
pictures.
It was like a grapevine flower festival. We got to sit on a float and play music, and they paid us so well that I got to buy my first PC off of that.
What?
That's right. Blap blap.
That's actually a good answer. Mine's gonna be Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, that's
Could you imagine if we got to be on a float
on a float?
and then they pull us in front of Macy's and then we just riff?
and our inflatable balloon is Chiswick.
Oh man, it'd be sweet.
It's a monster.
That would be awesome. Can I answer a question that wasn't actually your question? If there's just an event that I'd like to attend that I haven't?
DreamHack.
I was gonna say DreamHack.
Oh, DreamHack would be awesome.
Is that
DreamHack's awesome.
I was seriously gonna, because I just kind of wanted an excuse to go to Norway or Sweden or whatever.
You get to go to
Denmark?
DreamHack America.
Mine would be any Robbie Williams concert.
Okay.
I haven't seen Robbie Williams live. I've seen a lot of other bands and musical artists that I've loved for several years live, but I haven't seen Robbie
What
Williams.
about like Raw or something like that?
I've been to
No,
I've
but
been
more
to
like-
wrestling events like crazy. Oh,
Like
us?
we would be there. and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh,
like
I'd love
Jon
to be-
Stewart when he wrestled, what's his name?
Yeah, they have like guest hosts, guest commissioners, and guest hosts that come on
be fun.
wrestling, and I would love to do something like that. Oh man, God, I'd kill to do something like that. Yeah. And if Robbie Williams was my tag team partner, that'd be great.
Lars is looking at pictures of like
Parties still.
underage college girls right now.
They're not
It's
underage,
really
they're in
highly
college.
well, you don't. I was 17 when I went to college.
Well, you're a little baby boy.
I am a little baby boy.
Listen, Joel, we scrolled through lots of pictures of frats where dudes were tearing their shirts off, and you didn't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with
Do we-
that. That's
do we have
art, Lawrence.
Let's see.
Do
What
we
is
want
it?
to take another caller?
Hold on,
or
you're
leave?
turning into Adam now.
Yeah.
Rule 34, college.
All I did was Google college party. It's not my fault that a bunch of sexy co-eds are on there.
Lawrence, is there anywhere that you'd like? You said
State fair,
you said
man.
State fair.
I think we did the rounds.
I said Macy's parade. Thanksgiving Day
I said
parade.
DreamHack and or
Oh, that's right.
DreamHack.
Well, I just I just want to go to DreamHack as an excuse.
Is there somewhere you'd like to perform like a Dude Soup live or something?
The International Space
Today Show.
Dude Soup live. You know, I would love to perform for a big
Broadway.
crowd that doesn't have any conception of what we're talking about. So like a games convention in China, like literally in China, like the Shanghai Games Convention.
Yeah, that's
or
a good
something.
idea. I thought you were gonna say like it's Broadway, but they're like, unfortunately, Idina Menzel will not be performing tonight, but in her place will be Dude Soup.
7 guys ramble about video games or whatever. My light
Hey, that
cube.
looks like a penis. Bottom right looks like a penis.
But yes, actually, a Broadway show would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
thank you.
Morning.
Thank you. Take
whatever
it back.
Hang up before she replies.
You
Oh
too.
God.
No, you too.
Too bad. Too late. Hold on, I gotta. It's been a while. Let me drop one of these babies.
Oh, it's a fart.
Dude,
bug zap.
trumpeteer.
I don't want to blow it
Yeah,
out.
Don't blow your load.
I mean, I do. You know how it is. Hello. Welcome to the podcast. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear
it's
stuff.
us. We're
Turn down that
talking.
volume. You're gonna find out in 30 seconds that you're on right now.
Is your mic
Is it
working?
me?
Is it?
Oh, he's.
Ooh. Wait. Oh, he fell asleep. I'm gonna give you one sound effect and then you're out of here. Hold on.
Oh well, sorry.
Sorry.
He's just about
Sucks.
to find out.
People choose
In like 5 seconds.
No!
A piece of advice for anyone listening to the show: if you're trying to call in, pay attention to your Skype.
It's rough. I don't
Well,
know. People assume they're not
trying
going
to
to get
listen to
answers.
us.
This guy's finicky.
Yeah.
Sometimes
They're
it
all
goes
finicky.
wrong.
Skype
What's going on
is.
there? All right.
Oh, he's calling back. Oh.
Hello. Welcome. Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
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 Hello?
Okay, you get one. Everybody gets one.
Nice
I
one,
have
school.
problems.
Oh, you get 2 actually.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. You there yet?
So you have hope.
Okay.
You have
That
hope.
was 18 seconds. We gave him 18 seconds.
That's enough time.
I think
All right.
so too.
We'll try again. Or
time
a new
late.
person. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Nice
success.
work.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
time.
Don't say anything. Gotta be one in here somewhere.
Ronald McDonald.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for calling. Do you have a question?
So my question is, how many places have you guys moved to for like offices?
Since we started at full screen?
Funhouse is the name of our group.
Since I started at like Machinima.
Oh.
Oh.
All the way.
Well, when Bruce joined Adam, they were in Red Room.
Yeah, then it's different questions because I was at HPC and so were you, Joel. Like,
Yeah, but I wasn't part of Inside Gaming at the
Yeah, you
HPC.
were
I was Realm. Yeah.
Inside Gaming, since the Inside Gaming channel, there was that one side.
the ski chalet.
What?
Ski chalet, the one with the slanted roof.
Yeah, with
Yeah, that's
Coach-
sort of
Yeah,
didn't-
but that wasn't first.
that. Yeah, you're right.
It was the other side first. That's one.
Oh yeah.
Then it moved to Ski Chalet 2. Then it moved to Big Room 3. Then we moved to Culver.
Then full screen.
4. Full screen here. So this is 6. This is our 6th stop.
6th stop in about 2 years, 2.5 years.
And I was already walking around this
And
building
most of
going
those
like,
were
ooh,
this
that's
year.
a nice office.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be nice. What if we were there?
This is
I like this room.
This is probably our best setup so far, and
absolutely.
we're gonna get some more stuff coming in here that will eventually allow us to also we're getting new walls, and then we'll be able to decorate it so it actually looks like a studio instead of a basement.
It won't be Funhouse Orange though, because that's not an option.
Okay, good
Right.
call.
Didn't you say it was gonna be like?
It's gonna be either
Aquamarine.
Aquamarine.
No, I'm telling you. We'd surround the whole thing with an aquarium. Fish everywhere.
You know what? I looked into that, and it turns out water carries sound really well, so we actually don't want it to be an aquarium. Yeah. Kind of a bummer.
There's more to see.
That's why whales can talk over great distances, James.
Oh,
But
with
hold
the
on.
glass.
Yeah, we all do know
But
that.
does it echo?
What if we had like wavy like wall thing? I don't know. If that
This is boring. Thank you for your
thanks
question.
for calling.
The answer is 6. All right, he
It's
fell
like he's
asleep.
trying to trick us.
All right, wait, hold on. Let me give you one.
You can still.
one of these.
Okie dokie.
Still hang on.
Nice.
All right,
You got him.
moving on.
Nailed it.
I'll take you. Hello, you. Oh, hello, you.
Lawrence, hello.
Oh man, that's weird. You know my
Hi.
name.
I do.
What's your name? No, don't say it.
Why would you ask?
You can say your first name if
What-
you really
what-
want to.
What kind of question do you have?
I'll take the risk.
You did it. Okay, well, look out the window. The internet's coming for you.
Yes.
What's your question for us?
My question for you guys is, what is your guys' favorite thing to do in your free time when you're not playing video games or working on
Chicks.
things like that?
Nice, Spool. Give me that. Everyone get it.
Yeah.
Everyone get a piece.
Throw it up.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
This way to the fun.
Is there a vagina right off to the corner there?
But like, I'm sure you mean like an actual hobby. And it's still chicks.
Boo!
God, Spool, you're so cool.
I'm not though. I'm really not.
Whoa, that's a lot of vaginas.
On the other, I'm trying to find a safer.
What about Joel? You love to read.
I like to read and draw.
I like
to read and draw and paint.
I love to exercise. That would definitely be my. I mean, it's probably tied with video games for my hobby of choice. And yours is
Mine is video games.
Yeah, well, other than video games.
Yeah, what do you do?
I watch movies and Netflix and stuff a lot.
All right, but
I don't
that's
like to
kinda-
go outside.
If you like studied movies or made an active goal of trying to like
None of the. I don't do that.
view
All right,
video
certain
games.
classics. or
Imagine
whatever.
a world where your TV doesn't exist and your computer doesn't exist.
I would be dead.
Ooh.
You would be dead.
Sky goes down. No.
Sorry, Zach.
I like hiking and camping and
but
stuff
we can
like that.
solve
It's hard
this
to do that here in LA a lot.
Yeah, it's really hard to hike and camp in LA.
I mean, you just go to Griffith Park.
The urban center most close to the most hiking and camping facilities in the nation.
You gotta drive all the way to like Malibu.
No, there's some other
Griffith
ones.
Park.
Are you fucking kidding me?
There's
other ones.
several hikes. That you can,
There's the Baldwin Hills Recreation area that's like on the way home from work.
it's not really a hike, but there you
It's
can
a
walk
place to
around
walk.
Kenneth Hahn.
Oh, it's got to improve
Yeah.
my Skype experience.
Um,
Okay, that makes sense.
There's what is it? Something Heights.
Also, take a weekend. Go to Mount Baldy, maybe.
He did that once, remember?
But I like video games more.
We were all very impressed that those pictures showed up.
You were
on-
just saying if there wasn't a computer.
So he's picking his number one hobby, which is video games. So,
impressive.
all right.
Well,
there you go.
Well, Skype is down, so now we have to
It's
ask
improving
each
my
other
Skype
questions.
I never answered that.
Go ahead, Lawrence.
So the
Yeah.
problem is, I never want to answer. Come on, I never want to answer this because, my other hobbies are extremely nerdy, and it's like the thing that all nerds say to sound cool. So I like doing martial arts. I used to like doing indoor rock climbing, but I haven't done that so much in California. Playing music, listening to music,
These aren't nerdy.
cooking.
Oh, yeah.
No, the martial arts thing.
Yeah, I was
though.
gonna
It's
say
like-
you cook. I
It's like
cook
saying
too.
parkour, you know? It's like,
Ooh.
yeah, I do cool stuff. I'm kind of a karate black belt. Like, I don't know.
Kind of a karate black
Kind-
belt
kind-
or
no
a
big
karate
deal.
black belt?
No, I'm not karate.
Krav Maga. That's what I do.
Oh.
There's a place on Washington, and it's I think a Krav Maga studio, and it's called Reckham.
Nice.
R-E-K-M.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Krav Maga? That's what it looks like.
Hello, my name is Krav.
Maga.
Maga.
All right, Skype's up and running again.
Joel, did you learn Krav Maga when you were in the
I got more
Israeli
golf.
military?
The thing is, I can't tell you, but
Oh.
Are you still playing? Hold on.
Do you sign an
didn't.
NDA?
Guys, 1 second.
Do you sign an NDA?
Okay, yeah, it's still going. All right. All right, let's accept another caller.
Oh,
Skype's having some
Lawrence,
issues.
what are you doing?
Shouldn't have
Fucking
updated.
damn.
Lawrence's fault.
I hit answer. I wanted to answer the call.
I wish we were still playing Jurassic
Thank you
World
very much.
Lego.
Fucking Skype.
Move it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I did go. I went to Jewish camp for 10 years. Jewish summer camp for 10 years.
Okay, real
For
quick.
10 whole years?
Camp
Can
for
I ask
Jews?
you? Can I ask you?
It was in Mississippi.
What's the deal with Jewish summer camp?
What's the deal with
You know what's
Jews
weird?
in camps?
I didn't think there was a
Collect
deal.
them all so they can't go anywhere.
I didn't think there was a deal with it because it was like the only Jewish camp for all of the South. So that's where all the Jews went. I didn't realize until I went to school in the Northeast that like you went to this camp and you went to this camp, and so Jews apparently, because I think in the North it's all
Jews
about,
can't get enough of small confined spaces sleeping
How
in
were the
bunks.
showers, though?
Yeah,
Look,
with
regardless, it was Mein Camp.
unconventional showers.
Yeah.
Mein Kampf.
Mein Camp.
God damn it.
That's such
Fucking
a great name
Skype.
for something. Mein Camp.
Why is it crashing? You got too many buttons? I don't know.
No, it's just that's violinist. I
I'm
don't
having
know.
a hard time here. Just have people type you their questions.
Fuck. Whoa.
Oh, here they go.
It's
It's because
just
so many people are calling, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just It's getting the phone lines are clogged.
We should probably consider a different program that doesn't suck.
We did. I tried a few other ones.
Like what?
Ventrilo. We could get a Vent server.
Oh fuck.
How many years did you go to
like
Jewish
a
summer
drag
camp?
one
All
person.
right, so I went to as a camper. I went for
Please answer somebody.
6. As a camper, I went for 8, and then I went to Israel with like the campers as an older camper, and then I was a counselor there for 1 year. So I spent nine summers as part of the camp experience.
Wow. Yeah.
But like it's ingrained because, especially as a Jew in the South.
But you're not like being Jewish at all now.
Well, not now, no, because I think God is dumb and not real.
9 years though, you're in.
But
What's that have to do with camp?
It's such a part of your identity. Like it's drilled that it's so important for you to do this and like to take it seriously because that's like the struggle.
Because like I didn't do any camp. Did you go to camp?
I went to a couple, but it was more just because my best friend was going and I had nothing else going on in the summer. I went along. They were pretty fun. It was for like a week.
Yeah, but you're from like an outdoorsy kind of area, so you probably spent a lot of time outdoors growing up.
I did a lot of Boy Scouts.
Whoa.
Yes.
Hello?
Did you do Boy Scouts?
Oh, hi.
Oh, somebody's there. It actually
Oh
answered.
man, Skype doesn't suck anymore.
Hey.
I can't promise we're going to be on the phone with you for long. So please answer your question.
Okay, so if you could hang out with Pope Francis, what would you do? And James, I absolutely love your channel. Keep up the good work. Tell Adam to, make more videos.
Oh, thanks,
No,
man.
he's dead.
Thanks for watching.
I would go to a water park with Pope Francis.
Oh, it's all holy water.
I think I would genuinely like to sit down with Pope Francis and show him some of my YouTube videos. No, I know he's like getting the reputation for being the people's pope, and I firmly believe that it's a political position, despite the fact that it shouldn't be. And I think he's doing a really good job. Skype crashed. I think he's doing a really good job.
Did you grow up Catholic?
I did. Yes.
Did you go to church?
I did.
You go to church camp?
I didn't go to
You
church
said
camp.
it
I did. What is it?
Catechism or
Sunday school?
Yeah, Sunday school for a little while, but
Nice.
never actually a church camp.
I never did that.
But he seems like a pretty cool dude.
He does.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
there's one thing about being like manipulative and like lying just to get people's approval. But I always commend people, and I've said this about a bunch of, we've worked in several different places where we've been around people that just kind of say what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And I always go, if they can consistently say what I want them to hear, at least they know what is not the utterly worst thing to say. Because there are a lot of politicians or whatever that'll just go and say, they'll say, oh, this is how I feel about this or that or the other thing. And I'm
Donald
like,
Trump?
shut up. Like, you're wrong and you're stupid.
And you're only embarrassing yourself.
And you're embarrassing yourself. So whether or not the Pope believe, because he just said something about, he's like, I legitimately think climate change is a problem. Right.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not he legitimately believes that, at least he's like kind of caught up enough to say, I should probably say that I think.
Do you think the Pope actually honestly believes in God and miracles?
Yeah. I think faith has to be enough of a part of his life for him to reach that point.
I mean, I don't know. I
think there's tons of
But
priests.
you think like the closer he gets to the top, the more he realizes that it's not true?
I think you might have a more nuanced view of it.
Well, isn't there, when you
traditional
become
Catholicism.
Pope, don't they take you into a secret, there's like a room, I read about it once.
Pope room.
What's on Wikipedia? There's a room where they take the Pope and then it basically has like a box in it and only the popes are allowed to open it. It's like,
what's in the box?
Popes know.
It's like,
that's it.
It's like the president's book and like treasure and.
It's like that. There's like a room. Yeah, search for a Pope. It's like there's a name for it, like a really like imposing name for it. The Legend of the Pope's Box. What is the Legend of the Pope's Box? Anyone heard
It's
of it?
right there. It's right there.
Oh, it's gone.
We lost it. Magical Pope. My answer for the question from Skype though was to like, I would totally want to wear his hat. I would just want to wear his hat.
We got some click hole.
He probably wouldn't let you
business.
wear his hat.
Oh, look at that. Little pods
The
going on.
Pope's Box, very rare legend. The
Cardinals
Cardinals were being chosen as Pope.
No, this is all bullshit.
Can a legend be very rare?
It's something that like they're supposed to go. It's part of the process. Well, if you look up the process of when they get a new pope, there's like a couple stages, and one of the stages is they take the pope to a room.
I know it's in the box. It's a scrap of paper written in Aramaic, which was the language that the Bible was originally written in. That says God is not real, and then it's a quote. And then the quote is attributed to Jesus.
Well, I thought, what if the quote was attributed to God?
What?
He's like, I'm not even a real thing.
Hey, James, don't you believe that Jesus is God?
Do I know?
And well, don't they?
That's like someone. That's like someone saying that they always lie.
Oh yeah.
He's like, wait, are you lying now? Though?
Yeah.
One of us always lies. Like one of us always tells the truth.
Anyway, the Pope seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, I honestly I probably just want to honestly just get dinner with him, have a little bit of red wine, and just talk about what's on his mind.
You want to get the Pope drunk?
Come on, Pope. No, have another one. Pope, come on now. You don't want to be all tight, do you?
Date rape the Pope.
I'm gonna search on my phone. Pope. box.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say
You can take the
that.
next question.
Pope's calling.
We'll see.
Is he
Oh, got it. All right, hold on. Skype crashed again.
Yeah,
I think we've already outgrown Skype for this fucking thing. I didn't think that could happen.
Do you think the Pope
Hold on a minute.
was always popish? And like, do you think he ever did anything bad when he was young? Like,
keep going.
Like drinking or
Kids do shit all the time.
Kids can be kids.
And he can still be the Pope.
Because doesn't the church teach forgiveness?
Yeah, I guess Catholics, that's all about forgiveness. But at the same time, they're also really big kids.
Okie dokie. Well.
And they
Love this thing.
Lawrence, what do you want to do with the Pope?
I would. Gosh.
Pope's the Pope?
I would ask him about how he feels about the responsibility of being a Pope. How do you deal with that?
You're confusing it.
I'm not confusing anything. You have to kind of mash it a little bit.
You do know more about computers than I do.
Yep.
Sometimes you just gotta force it in there.
Are you looking at the magical Pope box?
Yes.
I am.
God damn.
If a priest is elected,
This is a really compelling fact cast. I'm glad we're doing it.
We can put the Pope on the thumbnail.
Oh yeah! Oh, catch those.
English. That's
SEO.
Hold on.
I didn't know Skype worked this way. We might be getting DDoS or something.
No.
well, we basically are because of all the
Right.
Yeah.
the calls.
Nobody cares about us enough to DDoS
I
us.
wouldn't think so, but there's always some douche out there that like misheard something and interpreted it away because they got weird worldviews. Yeah, I want to say you guys maybe back off on the calls a little bit, but I know that's not going to work.
You guys, you should just
Ask
pull
questions. Maybe
them
ask
up on
questions.
Twitter. Or
Yeah, I was
something.
gonna say ask questions on Twitter.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Whatever a spider can, spins a web any size.
Dude, oh my
catches
God.
thieves, just like flies. Look out.
Wishful
Here
pirate.
comes the
Might be
Spider-Man.
enough.
Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. And
The whole
he's
song?
from a thread. Take a look overhead.
Oh, there's a picture of a Pope
Hey
voting
there
voting
goes the
sheet.
Spider-Man. In the chill of night,
Not
at
allowed.
the scene of the crime, like a streak of light, he
his
arrives
picture
just
loaded.
in time. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Are you playing this whole thing?
It was really long. No, I stopped it. Somebody answering? No.
Ooh.
Oh, God damn.
Hold on, we can find stuff about the Pope. Keep talking.
Yeah, okay.
Joel, what are you doing?
Keep this content rolling.
Are you kidding me? My parents are in
Ooh.
town. We're not talking about
Ooh.
that. That's boring and dumb.
How about this?
Oh, you're saying your parents are boring and dumb.
My heart, I don't know if you can hear me. My heart is
Oh, we got somebody. Okay, you got hello. Ask your question very quickly, otherwise it's going to crash again.
yeah. Oh, God. Okay. My question is about something you basically said a long time ago, where Bruce basically made a transgender, or Joel made it.
Oh, you lost
made
it.
Made like what?
Whoop. No, keep going.
Don't interrupt him. Let him ask a stupid question.
Not stupid. I'm so mean. But basically, like you made a couple like transgender jokes and star raper jokes and stuff like that, which I found personally hilarious and I love them. But then I noticed you guys kind of started apologizing for them after a while.
I don't think we ever apologized for them.
Wait, for what jokes?
Joel apologized, started kind of
I think we,
backing off of for example, the transvestite joke he made in, I believe, the first comment show you made, like 13 minutes or so was the time.
I remember
I'm just
that.
Curious,
I remember.
do you guys ever, you already answered the question before, do you guys kind of ever back off jokes or you think you go too far? But I'm just curious, don't you ever kind of think maybe you should just kind of ignore, the Tumblrinas and stuff like that? Are you familiar with the...
It's funny because you just used a disparaging comment, but that's okay.
I don't think he's defending them or anything. He's just...
No, he's attacking them pretty
I'm
good.
not defending them. I'm not attacking them. No, I'm saying, do you guys ever pay attention to them? Because I don't know if you're aware.
We actually had a long conversation about James and Bruce and Adam and Lawrence and Spool and Matt. And I had a long
I was standing over there.
Yeah, we had a long conversation about this yesterday.
We did?
About how... Because we've been getting a lot of comments recently about people who are upset that we've been bleeping out words.
There's one comment specifically that was like they can do whatever they want to, but it was really strange that they bleeped certain words in
I don't care if you bleep
open
personally.
house.
Usually we do it for comedic effect
They were
more
like,
than anything.
if they think it's funny, they should stand by it. And I'm truncating this comment, but if they think it's funny, they should stand by it they don't think it's funny, why did they leave it in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
And to my response to that is, I think it's funny with a bleep.
Yeah, usually we bleep for comedic effect.
I think some things.
I agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm personally probably a lot more cautious than the other guys because I'm more of a pussy than they are. I was also raised by probably significantly more hippie style parents than, I mean, my parents aren't hippies, but they're like liberal hippies. And so I'm a lot more like, I try to be a lot more empathetic towards groups that not PC. But I try to be more empathetic towards groups that have been historically marginalized.
Nice. Cool. Because of summer camp.
It's true though.
I'm taking your hat now. And I don't know. I mean,
it's full.
So I'm just aware. I'm aware of it more, and I wouldn't say that I necessarily try to apologize for it, but more that I understand why people get upset about certain things. I also think that there's too much of a backlash and that people want to be offended by things. But I don't want that I don't want that backlash to take away from legitimate concerns about marginalization or offensive content, honestly.
I agree.
James agrees.
Reasonably answers my question.
Yeah,
I just don't want to see something like, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Rooster Teeth and Tumblr kind of had a thing where if you can Google it if you want, but apparently some Tumblr people got really upset at Rooster Teeth for using ableist language, which I was just amazed by.
Well,
they actually started a petition on whitehouse.gov to get like Obama involved.
What?
To like
you
talk
can look
about
at it, it's hilarious.
To talk about like on like Comment Show or I think it was Comment Show or whatever in the past. It was like I don't think we were really apologizing more than like trying to explain how comedy works, if I remember right. Like James was trying to explain like how we not disparage, but how we'll like make fun of any group and every group without like really trying to censor it if we can help it. Just because then that limits us in our comedy and stuff in general.
It's an interesting topic because the problem is, and this is me seeing it from all sides, so this is more of an explanation, not really where I stand, but the problem is certain jokes are target a certain subgroup because of history. So if you make a slavery joke, yeah, that's going to target like all number. You could say like, well, white people could be slaves too, but they haven't been. And
well, they have been, but
damn it, Joel! Damn it! Somebody was going to do it, and I didn't think it was going to be you.
Don't marginalize Lawrence.
Basically, it's so. A way to explain it is like, say you're at a dinner table, and your sister has more food than you do, and you're like, but I want an equal amount of food, and your dad's like, well, everyone wants an equal amount of food. It's not. You can't excuse what's happening right now because of a larger idea. The reality is somebody else has more food than you do, and
your sister's huge and she needs that.
Yeah, and she's fucking fat. So if to say that like, well, everything's equal, it's kind of willfully ignoring that everything's not equal and it hasn't been for a long time. The problem is like there are things that are funny that target certain groups, and like if there were a way to make fun of adult white men, we would do that too. It's just
we do make fun. I make fun of adult white men all the time.
It doesn't really have the same effect because white males typically haven't
made fun of all the time.
Haven't been sexually abused or systematically like genocided, except for Jewish people.
No, this isn't what.
Hold on. Well, real quick, as far as comedy goes, I don't see how there's a way for comedy to be offensive at all. At all.
If it's being actual true.
Because here's the thing.
I guess.
If it's funny, everyone should laugh at it, and it's a joke, and it's obviously a joke. If it's not funny, then it's not a joke. And it's not worth getting upset about.
I think
it's not a good joke.
I think what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that there's a way to make everything funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, but because comedy is subjective, not everybody is going to find the same things funny.
True.
It's like sexual harassment.
So rather than saying that comedy is funny and you shouldn't be offended by it, which it almost, I mean, because by its definition, comedy is funny. And that makes it okay.
Well, intended to be funny.
Is intended to be funny. I take the similar viewpoint, but it's actually reverse, which is that like anything can be funny. You just need to find a way to make it funny.
Yeah, I think as long as the intention is pure, like just comedy and jokes, and not like backed by like ignorance or racism or something like that, then it's good.
If a redneck with a rebel flag and like a couple beers who has a history of calling minority groups derogatory terms and stuff like that says like hey, how many black people does it take to screw in a light bulb or whatever? And it's one, not funny and doesn't make anyone laugh. He's probably not making a joke. He's a bigot.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I know there's a point where the lines blur, but for the most part, like, it's pretty easy to go, oh no, this person's a bigot.
You know, this is an old thing, but you know what did like edgy South Park does edgy comedy pretty well, I think. But also the musical Avenue Q did like racist jokes, handicap jokes, like sick jokes, all sorts of weird jokes, sex trafficking jokes really well, in a way that it was an inclusive sexual trafficking joke.
Oh. And we all commit sexual
I also
trafficking.
feel like, interestingly enough, I haven't seen Avenue Q, but that is a Muppet show, right? Where at least half the cast are Muppets.
Right.
So that is the avenue, so to speak, through which they chose to make those jokes.
Yeah, it's a
which for us bleeping something is the avenue through which we decided to do it. So that way it's more obviously a joke. I think the idea is we're doing this, so it's more obviously a joke. So if someone stumbles upon it, they're not going to see it and go, who are these bigots? Like, who are these assholes who are just saying these things? Go ahead.
Sorry, but a lot of times, from like what I've noticed on like our comments and stuff, is like people kind of piggyback. Like one person will say it, and then other people are like, hey, yeah, that. We're like, at the time they were fine, but then later they're like, oh yeah, that was kind of offensive, or like, oh, that is offensive to me and stuff. Is what it feels like. I'm not necessarily saying that's the case.
I mean, Spool, what you're touching on is the idea that humor, or just, ooh, that's a boob. Well, let's go past that. It was tasteful, though. Context is what we're talking about. There's the idea that, like, just repeating something or bringing up that it exists is reintroducing it into culture. So if you're trying to stamp out racism, then making a joke that references racism will just reinforce and remind people, oh, racism is a thing. I can be racist still.
Yeah.
Well,
it's very childish to think that way, but also, like, maybe there's something to it. I don't know. I'm not an anthropologist.
But I feel like trying to ignore things like that.
Brushing it under the rug isn't getting rid of it.
Like, whether it's gender equality or racial equality and stuff, I feel like if you're, like, if you just ignore it, that's not good. If you, like, do, like, reverse racism or stuff like that, that's not good, obviously, or, like, all kinds of stuff like that.
Real quick, guys.
Reverse racism.
It's the room of tears. After a new pope is elected, he is taken to the room of tears.
Cool.
And apparently, the rumor is in there that the honest answer is that it's called the room of tears, most likely because it's an emotion. It's a place where you're allowed to just emote over the stress of, I'm sure, everything you just endured to get to that point, and to know that this thing you devoted your life to, you are now the closest of anyone on this planet to what it is you're devoting yourself to. So it's a place for you to be emotionally outpouring of that. But the rumor is, the conspiracy theory is that there's like something in there that all popes read, which I think is more funny and creative. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, but I think it's funny.
We have time for one more call.
Oh, okay. Are you still there, Mr. Pirate?
Yep, I'm still there.
Oh, cool. Okay,
it was nice talking to you. Honestly, also real short. Just want to say I really appreciate you guys. I love your comedy. You're very funny, guys. I like it so much.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
That comment offended me. Actually.
I wish I knew what race you were, so I could make a joke at your expense.
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna go.
We know it's the man.
Well, let's hope that hung up. I don't know. The context is there are a lot of people that are worried. Okay, so there are people who go out of their way to get offended at things and then tell people you shouldn't do that because that's offensive, because they believe that it's harmful to society. And then there are other people that think if they have their way, like, everything will become boring and stupid because nobody will want to say anything that remotely targets any kind of group that's ever been
too
victimized.
PC.
Yeah. So it's weird because I can see it from both sides, and I think it really comes down to your worldview. Like, what do you think is influential and damaging?
We're never all going to get on the same page, so we might as well just learn to live on our own page.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
On an
really,
island.
really
Like
deep,
that?
James.
That's what it says when the Pope goes into the room of tears and then opens it and looks at it.
Ay, Dios mío.
There's a Medici read that in like Latin or something.
Do we have another caller?
We have time for one more call.
I mean, maybe it's up to Skype.
Let's see if it
I'm kinda
works.
fucking working on it here.
Roll that dice.
Hold on, let me.
I like watching it in the task manager and to see it go like, not responding back, not responding.
Hold on, one more.
Oop, not responding.
Sigh though.
Hold on, give it a chance though. It needs to spool up that Skype.
It's blonking.
Has all these other sound effects on Star
call
Trek.
ended.
No answer. That was weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Oh. Try
We're gonna
again.
answer
Skype.
like 5 people.
There's
at
got to
once.
be a way.
Yeah, right.
What if we take $5 and we shove it into the disk drive?
Buy some Skype credits?
Yeah.
Skype coins?
If we pay into Skype, will it treat us better?
I guess they didn't intend for it to be a switchboard.
There is premium Skype.
God damn it.
What does that
Please,
give you?
Skype, you gotta give me this.
You get video, like multiple people video calling, and a bunch of other random stuff, right?
How do normal?
I don't think
like,
that
legitimate podcasters do this.
They have a phone line.
Probably have like an
with
actual
a
phone
producer.
line.
Phone producer, right?
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, if it was the kind of thing where I could have a call and it would just reject all calls, maybe I need to do that.
Google Voice.
Why don't
Or try Google Voice.
Spool? You asked the last question.
Come on.
James, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm gonna go to a dog
Strung
beach with my dog.
Oh, Benson.
Dog beach.
I want to go.
You want to go?
I can't. My parents are
your
in
parents
town.
are in
Your
town.
parents don't like dogs?
Well, we have plans.
We're
Big
gonna,
plans.
We're gonna go check it out,
on.
and then I'll let you know how it is.
Uh-huh.
And then next time you can bring Frankie and Billy.
Can I ask which dog beach you do not want to say on the podcast?
I don't care.
'Cause you don't want to blow up your spot.
Yeah, I don't want to blow up my spot. I don't want to ever show up.
Give them the name of the different one.
It's in Long Beach.
Just have Joel,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great dog park.
Yeah.
have Joel Periscope from it for you. God damn it.
Lawrence, what do you do?
I went to a dog beach in San Diego. It was the best dog beach I've been to. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
What made it so good?
Because there's a section of it where waves come in, but also like a really sheltered section, sheltered by a jetty that's just like pretty shallow and very still. So like Billy, one of my dogs now, who's kind of scared of water, she walked up to it and then decided, okay, this is fine, I can go into this water, and she was able to like run around and have a good time in that water. But she was really scared by the waves. So like and it's pretty big and there's lots of dogs, but it's like it's a variety of different ocean park atmospheres.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Look at those.
Lawrence, I appreciate the millions of things you're doing at once.
Yeah,
right
Lawrence,
now.
you're really handling it up here.
I'm just clicking buttons.
Well, what are you doing this weekend? I'm playing video games.
Video games.
Which ones?
I might. Maybe I'll try Mad Max.
Feeling
Probably
spicy?
Ark a little bit.
Little Ark? Okay.
I got Mad Max. Oh, I'm gonna start that Soma game that James started playing.
Soma's real good.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, just jumping on the bandwagon, huh?
Good shit.
No, it's.
Why don't you just watch me play it?
You
Watch me play it.
Posted days later, and I want to play it now.
You fist anuses in that game. It's pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good.
I might go to IKEA and get a new couch.
Hot damn.
Maybe.
Try not to get laid so hard.
Lawrence, what's your exciting life like this weekend?
I'm gonna go see Aladdin at the El Capitan.
Oh, I really wanted to go to that.
Well, I'm going.
You know what I'm doing next month?
What are you doing next month?
Black Cauldron at the El Capitan.
That's
When are
racist.
you? I'm going then. Black Cauldron time.
Wait, is Brittany going?
Yeah, she's coming down.
Oh,
She'll be here. We're gonna go Disneyland and stuff. But that's in October. That's not this weekend.
Please
Black
answer
Cauldron's
somebody.
kind of terrible though.
God damn it!
I haven't seen it since I was 4 years old in theaters.
Uh-huh.
And so like I don't know if it's bad or if it's gonna be rad.
It's
so
not
I'm gonna
good.
get
Probably bad.
I'm gonna get so hashtag
Wait, hold on.
so
hold on,
faded.
Hold on.
Okay.
We got a person.
Oh,
Are you there?
Hey,
Yeah, we did it. How are you?
You guys finally fixed it. I'm good.
Oh, I didn't fix jack shit. I just clicking real hard.
You're our last caller.
You're our last caller.
Awesome.
So make your question extra good.
What's the theme again?
There is no theme.
Oh, okay.
You weren't paying attention. Boo.
Ah, shit.
It's okay. Now there was Joel.
What is your favorite race or religion to make fun of, and why is it the Jews?
Nice. That's a good question.
Easy targets.
Yeah, Joel's an easy target. Also, it's like, I think out of everyone, the Jews did no, that's not fair to say. But still, like,
Wait, what did the Jews do to deserve it, Lawrence?
Well, that's the thing.
What did the
Built the
Jews
most
do
pyramids.
to deserve it?
I was gonna say the Jews probably did the least to deserve any of it,
Except-
because they just kind of sit there and you're just like, we're Jewish, you can't be Jewish. That's not our
That's
fault.
not true. Nobody
That's not
says
your
that.
fault.
You can be Jewish.
Damn it,
No, they
Joel,
ran-
stop
they
being so
ran-
fucking contradictory.
They ran a lot
Can't
of
you just
banks.
play along for once? If you're not born a Jew,
You're
it's
right.
a whole fucking process.
The Jews did deserve it.
What? That's not
He
even
said they
what I'm
didn't.
saying.
He
Jesus
said they
Christ.
didn't.
He was contradicting.
Oh, your goddamn punch. Blowing out your memory, man. I was saying the Jews didn't do anything. They just want to sit there and build their pyramids, and that's it. Or be slave labor to build the pyramids. And then they walked across the desert, they found the promised land, and they just wanted to chill and be alone. But then crazy dudes had to be like, oh, they're the reason everything's wrong. Because we don't believe in
Okay.
God's law. We can lend it interest, and we can own the world's media and all the money in the world.
Real
That makes us bad for
real
something.
quick. A lot of major world events in human history have happened, and who have always been there?
Aliens.
Humans.
White dudes.
More
Spiders.
specifically,
Aliens.
Irish humans.
less specifically, the Chinese have been there.
Oh.
I think I have a theory that Chinese people are also Jewish.
Oh.
What?
Oh my god.
What? Wait, why?
I don't know.
Let's go with it.
The thing is, you're supposed to go, oh, building of the pyramids, a lot of biblical events, the Holocaust.
So
all of these
specific
things
Jews.
had something to do with the Jews, but then I was going to do a bait and switch and I was going to say the Chinese, but it didn't pan out that way.
Well, we're having a post bait right now, right, Lawrence?
We'll probably just cut before at Spool's question.
Damn it.
That was a good question. We got to argue about Jewish people for a little bit.
It's not an argument. We're all in agreement.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
I choose the Anasazi.
Don't forget your gift bag.
Yeah, take your gift bag on the way out. Hold on, here.
specific.
I got it here right here for you.
The Navajo.
Oh, sweet. There's condoms in here.
Don't talk over the fart. All right, thank you for calling.
Thanks
thank
for
you.
watching this disastrous episode of FAQ Podcast.
Hey, we got to talk about stuff
say
like
that,
the
Joel.
Room of Tears.
Why can't I say that?
That's offensive. I can't hang
He's
up.
trying to hang up.
Hey,
He's
Skype
like,
closed.
Wait, hold on a minute.
No, I thought it was a good podcast for at least half of it.
Bracket right square bracket left square bracket right square bracket left square bracket right square bracket.
This is gonna go
left
on for
square
another
bracket,
20
right
seconds.
square
I was
bracket.
going to have you guys
walking
guess
away.
how long it was going to go. Thank you all for listening and calling in. Sorry, Skype apparently can't handle the massive volume of viewership we have.
Whatever.
It broke, and then it kept breaking.
But we did. We learned about humor. We learned about togetherness. We learned about harmony. We learned.
Turn the Skype off!
How are babies made?
To a Japanese company. He's a good middleman.
Adam's right.
Okay, so answer the question.
Also, he's 50 years old and has great pecs.
Answer the question then.
Adam's right.
What? Oh, I wanted to make Madden.
That's actually a good answer.
This is a great answer. Yeah.
Wow. The Rusty Acorn writes, if you could play a game with any celebrity, who would it be?
Oh man, I'd love to play a game with Gavin Free or Jeff Ramsey at some point.
They're not celebrities. They're not celebrities.
Oh.
I want to play Mortal Kombat with Harper Lee. Welcome to FAQ Podcast number 12. Last week we learned apparently people don't click on a podcast unless it has a salacious title. So this week, Android is beating iPhone to a bloody fucking pulp.
Wait, what?
Click on the video.
How do we know that?
Click on it.
Which video?
I don't know, this one. Oh, they already clicked on it. Thank you for clicking on the video. Apparently our title worked.
Oh.
So let's
my God.
open it up to the phones and
blew my
hopefully
mind.
Skype won't crash immediately.
Use your Apple or Android device to call us and
Yes.
tell us what you think about.
He's salivating on the couch.
But really, a
over there.
PC.
She's drooling.
All right, open up the call. Open it up. But
Let's go.
Nobody's calling.
Whoop.
Well, also, right now, I think we're doing questions on Twitter as well. We're live streaming, right?
Twitter.com.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
It's our account for Funhouse
Oh,
is
turn on the light there.
Twitter.com/askfunhousefaq a question.
Not so important.
That's the Twitter address. that
Well,
you can go
actually,
to.
hold on.
Yeah.
I forgot something. There's a reason why we're talking about this.
Oh.
Yesterday, Google had a very special event where they announced all new things.
Somebody on the phone? Oh. Yeah,
Probably.
they did.
Yes. What did they announce, Lawrence?
They announced 2 new lines in both of their Nexus series. What is that?
Oh, somebody's talking outside.
That's something outside.
Shut up!
So the new Nexus 5 is the 5X, and the new Nexus 6 is the 6P.
Boo!
And they have a new tablet called the Nexus 9.
Boo!
And they have the Nexus Player,
What the
which is
fuck
the
is
little.
that? Oh,
It's
that
the little.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically their Apple TV.
Yeah, I think they announced that a
And
while
there's
ago.
a new Chrome.
Cast.
Yeah.
Cast.
So that's a weird thing. The separation between the Nexus Player and the Chromecast is fascinating.
Regardless, it was very similar to Apple's whole thing where they were like, hey, new iPad. You want it, Joel? It's big.
Maybe.
Okay.
Not as lifestyle oriented, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I don't need a fucking
there a
indie
new
pop
iPad?
song with some
Yeah,
white
remember
lady.
the iPad Pro?
Oh, this thing that's
Yeah.
not that thin or light.
No, it's the size of a table, but guess what? It can run Photoshop, but it's still using
Force-sensitive stylus that Apple said they never ever wanted to have
That's
ever.
right. Look at that.
No, that was
Adam, are
a
you tired of me interrupting
misappropriation.
you all day long?
No, oh no, not tired. I'm
Also,
tired of Apple.
Joel,
Sorry.
I saw or I heard an Apple apologist say this on Twitter. It's not a stylus. It's an
a way of
artistic
life?
device.
Oh.
You don't use. It's not like a PDA. You're not using the stylus to navigate menus. You're just using it to draw.
I'm gonna go check it out, and if I really like it, I'm gonna get one.
Regardless, I've always said if you're going to use a stylus, if you're doing any sort of professional work, do not put your money into a fucking iPad or an Android tablet.
What?
Get a Surface.
Right, or if you're doing professional artistic work, get a Wacom or a Syntec or something.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's like
Get something professional.
Hey, this podcast is about the people.
Yeah.
But I'm not a professional. I would just use it to doodle, and I want to be able to doodle better.
But wouldn't your drawings be better if you had a big iPad?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh yeah. You should give them a $2,000. Let's take a phone call. Andrew versus Apple. What's your question?
Hello, are you there?
Oh dear God.
Bobby?
Come on, Bobby.
Yo. Whoa, there you are.
The voice does not match the picture.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
Yes. What's the question? What's your question about Android versus iPhone?
Okay.
So he's got notes.
He has notes. I heard it.
Obviously,
yes.
iPhone has a lot more sales, as far as I understand. But do you think if everyone in the world has a smartphone, if they tried both Android and iPhone, do you think most of them would switch over to Android, or is it just like not about marketing and people just like the simplicity?
Well, I switched over from Apple to
Why
Android.
did you do that?
Peer pressure?
Kind of peer pressure, because I had an iPhone for a long time, and Bruce had a Nexus 6, and I was tired of him calling, or Nexus 5, and I was tired of him.
No, Bruce had a.
What did you have?
I had something before that. It was a Google phone.
It was just it was called the Nexus, but it was like the Nexus. I think technically the 4.
Oh, whichever one
Samsung had made
the
before
original
they
Nexus,
switched over to
Sorry,
LG.
go ahead.
All right, so when the 5 came out, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get it. Yeah. Because I had played with your phone, which was an Android device. I don't remember what it was.
I forgot what I had.
And I played with your phone, and I was like, oh, well, this does a lot of cool things. And the thing that appealed to me most was the integration with all of the different Google products for work.
Yeah.
I never been able to do work before on a phone because the iPhone interface is so bad.
Before the death of Hair Steve Jobs, what? I'm sorry, fewer jobs.
I got it.
Pure?
You could not use any Google products on an Apple phone. Like
He was really attractive when he had hair.
It was bad. Like back when I had, I think, an iPhone 4.
Look up a picture of him.
Now, Steve Jobs is a good-looking dude. Don't get me wrong.
Virile Steve Jobs.
He's just a dead asshole. I'm getting the point being. He's
there he is.
Oh dear God,
he's dead.
Looks like a zombie. He was whatever his quote. He was saying like he's gonna drop a nuclear bomb on Android because they stole from Apple, and it's like no, like chill, dude.
So what are the
sales? It was weird.
So Bobby, are you there?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing. Android is apparently predicted to ship 1.15 billion devices in 2015, whereas iPhone is supposed to ship 237 million. So Android's outselling the iPhone nearly 5-1.
That's worldwide.
I stand corrected.
No. It's perception.
Well, because the
Apple's doing a good job by selling less and making it appear as if they're selling more.
And also, the iPhone's selling one device.
Yeah.
Whereas Android is selling across.
Compared to any one
devices.
Android device, iPhone is smashing. But Android is everything. So
right.
I mean, I switched over from an iPhone. I used to have a 4S, and now I have a Galaxy. And I remember like wanting an iPhone. Like I knew from the beginning before I got a smartphone, I kind of wanted the Android because it just seems better. But iPhone's more of like a bucket list thing for me.
Okay.
It's just like.
Did your life goal to own an iPhone?
Maybe that's because I grew up seeing them everywhere, but I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying, and that makes sense.
I think the iPhone's still I think the OS. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. We talk about this a lot. Like if you are
they announced 3D touch.
If you're a tinkerer, Android is for you.
No.
Yeah.
You already know my rule for this.
Oh boy.
Everybody knows my rule.
Yeah.
What's your rule?
Can you say this out loud?
Absolutely. iPhones are for girls. iPhones are for girls. So, Bobby, when
there's a girl with an iPhone that just went, fuck that guy.
When you switched, you were no longer a girl. Just so you're aware.
Hey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was worried about that.
Without getting misogynistic about it, also
it's not misogynistic at all. iPhones are for girls. Android are for boys.
Well, the other thing too is Apple and Android are pretty smart about this, about the whole upgrade system, where it's like just take all your old data, all your old contacts, all stuff, rolls over into the new phone. That's a hard cord to cut when everything you've ever owned has been on an iPhone. Like you had the iPhone 1, and it's like you're just transferring the soul over and over to a new device, and it's like
reincarnation.
Kind of, but like you've bought probably hundreds of dollars worth of apps.
Phone Jesus.
All your text messages, all your photos. Like not the average person doesn't really know how to say that sort of stuff. Anyway, you can hang up. Sorry. Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you for the call.
Oh man, didn't even think about it.
I did.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was trying to get that sound effect.
Point being, it's hard.
Good job.
It's hard to get someone to get away from that.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
What's the sunk cost fallacy or something? No, it's not a fallacy though.
I'm just gonna say it though. When I switched, it felt good to just cut all that off. It was like there's a lot of baggage. It was weighing me down.
Well, it's just we also talk about how bloated iOS has become.
Yeah, no, it really is. It absolutely is.
And particularly iTunes.
Yeah, we were talking
Like,
about iTunes. I don't know about
iTunes.
iOS.
No, the iOS size has gotten 100 million times larger.
Yeah, and and syncing your phone is with an iOS device is really a lot more annoying. Whereas with Google, everything is automatic. Everything's automatic.
that was sort of the appeal for me too. Like, I mean, back when they may have changed it now, but I remember trying to do everything through iTunes was a clusterfuck. It was always a pain in the ass to transfer any sort of file, and I've gone through
4.6 gigs is how much
Jesus
it takes.
Christ.
Yeah.
I've gone through like 4 Android phones now without ever having to
8.
plug them into a computer for anything other than file transferring. So,
Yeah.
which is another thing too. Doing file transferring on Android is so much easier. We're just gonna jerk off Google for the next hour.
Answer a
Okay,
call.
let's take a call.
Dear God.
Blam.
Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Hello. Do you have a question about the iPhone versus Android?
Where's Williams?
He hung up.
What did he say? Blades Williams?
I don't know what he said. Caller, are you there?
Oh, she's listening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aha!
So
Turn down your computer, please.
What kind of iPhone do you have?
What's your?
Like their upgrade where you get a special deal, but the iPhone now has where you can upgrade it yourself.
Like
You got to turn down your computer.
That's okay. Turn it up if you
No,
can.
it's louder is better.
Here's. Hold on. Answer me this question, caller.
Hello?
Oh no, Bruce, don't do it.
I'm here.
Bruce, don't.
You better turn down your computer, or else I'm gonna hang up on you.
Oh, sorry, my boyfriend has it playing on his
Boyfriend?
iPhone. I have
Bruce, come
on.
I almost hung up on her.
My boyfriend has the Android.
And what do you have?
The one and only
I have
Android.
an iPhone.
Aha! I knew it.
What do you like so much about the iPhone?
It's really simple, and I had an Android in the past, but it was just too shitty for me.
Ooh, shitty Bruce.
Wait, no, hey, there are a lot of shitty Android phones out there.
There are.
Yeah, there's like some real garbage.
I had an
phones.
Android phone that had a resistive touchscreen. Like you had to use a stylus to poke it. I was like, what is this garbage?
Cool.
I'm not debating that fact. I'm not telling people switch to Android. Hell no.
No, not at all.
If you want simplicity and you want mama to hold your hand, like, dude, get an iPhone.
Wait,
Life's easy.
So you like the upgrade feature? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What's the
Well,
upgrade
I mean,
feature?
I was talking
more
about
RAM.
like now that Verizon has cut their upgrade feature, like you get a special deal, but now Apple has an upgrade feature,
Subsidy.
but you're kind of like blocked into Apple for
So
the rest of your life.
It's a weird thing. I'm gonna pull a Joel here real quick.
But Android phones are cheaper naturally.
I was gonna say during like the whole on the debate of the whole like upgrade thing, the rest of the world doesn't really have the same subsidies that America has. That's a very like.
Oh, we don't really have many more either.
Anyway, I'm done talking.
No, I'm not.
No, you're absolutely
I
right.
lost my train of thought.
I'm
sorry.
going with you on these.
I'm just curious what pulling a Joel means. I mean, and would you do it right now to Joel?
I'm world traveled and I have seen things.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's
choking down a beer.
It's interesting because the dichotomy, as I see it, is coming out like I think Apple's starting to realize that they had the image, they had the marketing, they had the market, they had everything, and Android is slowly chipped away at that with just like breadth instead of depth.
Right.
And now Apple has to fight them on price, which is really tough considering Apple used to charge a premium for their image, which was awesome. It was impeccable.
Let me tell you a little story about the first iPhone. That wasn't even called an iPhone. It's called the iTunes phone. You remember that?
No.
From like Singular Wireless?
No, I don't remember.
This is a good story. You're going to like this, Joel.
It's a Joel.
So for years, Apple had been trying to make an iPhone type phone. Like they wanted something. And so they made this super shitty Singular Wireless phone. Did you find it? Yes.
This one? Oh, yeah, I do remember this
It was
one.
the first phone with
Yeah.
iTunes on it.
Yes.
Ugh.
And the whole thing was because Apple
It doesn't even look like an iPod. That doesn't make
Apple never had the infrastructure to.
Motorola.
Wow. Is it? Yeah. Oh my God.
Got an
Holy
old
shit.
phone. It's got the little clip nubbin.
Regardless, Apple didn't have the infrastructure to build out a cellular network, so they had to partner with someone. And even when they put up the first phone, they they were only with AT&T. Like it took a while for them to do this. But it's funny because if you look at the steps in which they're going, Apple's going to be a mobile carrier soon. Google's already doing it. They're just piggybacking off. It's just going to be
Either
the
going to buy a
service.
network.
Probably. They have enough money that they
Well,
could.
I mean, Google's technically already doing that with Fi.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Caller, thank you for reinforcing stereotypes. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bruce, you're so rude.
And
you have to be. This is the way it works. Caller, are you there?
Chappie?
Oh, hey, Bruce.
Hey, do you have a question about iPhone versus Android?
I do. I want to know if you're going to buy the new Nexus phone, because I am actually currently calling.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Are you there?
And Nexus sits.
Wait, hold on. You got to say your question again because you cut out.
Yes?
Say your question again.
I said, are you going to buy the new Nexus phone, like the 5X or the 6P?
I'm not, because I just bought the 6 last year.
Same did I.
So yeah, so it's gonna it'll be a little bit for me to upgrade. I usually wait. I try to wait 2 years.
Hey, Lawrence, where's your phone?
What about Windows Phone?
It's in my hand and it looks great.
What does the screen look like?
It's shiny.
Show
reflective.
us that screen.
show the camera.
Show the kids the screen.
I don't
Just
need
show
to.
them.
Everybody's seen a screen before.
Bruce, take his phone. Show him the screen.
That's not necessary.
Oh, come
There
on,
it is.
Lawrence.
It's
You
right
want to
here.
show the cameras right here?
No reason.
Is anybody going to buy the 6X or the 5X or the 6P?
So I wanted to, like, the wave took me and I was like, it's so good. And then I
What's so
sat
good
down
about it? What caught your eye?
It's not cracked.
Since
Oh.
can't really tell because it's like
I dropped a can of nonstick spray directly onto the screen. Has anyone cracked their phone that way in the history of the world? No, it's just drunk idiots dropping their phone, which is normally how I break my phone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you're still going to stick with the old one?
Well,
Nexus
so here
6?
was my plan, and this is one of the things I really like about Android, is that it's your property. Like, I buy this phone and then I can resell it. And then it's just like upgrading computer hardware. You buy a new video card, you sell your old one, and you basically get an upgrade for $150. That's essentially how you can rotate Android hardware every.
Lawrence has made like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I'm a millionaire.
A lot.
Being on you're on Google Fi, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They pay me to be on Google Fi. It's fucking
Damn.
fantastic.
I'm telling you, you Apple sheep out there,
Wait,
you're missing out.
How much are you paying a month right now, Lawrence?
$70, but that includes $30 installation on the phone.
Thank you for the call.
It's $40 for the data and for the.
So
for
wait, Bruce, what's stopping you from getting the 6P or the 5X?
I just spent like $600 on the Nexus 6.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to spend on a phone.
But you own it. It's yours.
You own it. You don't have to pay for
I
it.
could sell it.
You could sell it and then buy a 5 and you end up making money.
Oh, you're right.
No, you
That's
don't.
not the
Actually,
way-
you don't make money at all.
That is not the way it works.
No, you don't make money at all.
It's all for $500.
Caller, are you there?
Actually, wait, they're $450 now.
Caller?
Hello?
Hello. Do you have a question about iPhone versus Android?
Yeah, I was wondering, do you think that there's ever gonna be another company that makes smartphones?
Never.
Like
Wait,
Sony
what?
or something?
You mean like HTC?
You mean like Nokia?
Oh, do you mean like a different operating
yeah.
system?
Well, I mean, like there's HTC, there's Nokia, there's a lot of companies. What do you call those?
Oh, wait, are you asking about like, is there ever going to be an iconic?
No, another OS. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, another OS.
So iPhone, Android, and
BlackBerry.
Windows Phone already exists.
Linux,
Like,
a
do you
Linux
think
phone.
Sony's ever gonna
Oh,
make
Android
one?
is Linux.
What'd you say?
Sony is ever gonna make a phone?
Well, Sony makes phones, but they're Android phones.
Ericsson's?
Brand.
Oh.
Yeah, so they make phones.
Linux brand.
The problem is right now Android again has such a huge market share, and everybody knows how to use Android.
Ugh.
That at this point, it would be dumb to make another OS.
Really? Think dumb?
I do.
I guarantee you. So
actually
I
do.
guarantee
No,
you, there's
somebody's-
going to be startups that make a different OS.
and it's going to be garbage. So and that's the thing is that you need something better than iOS, and in my opinion, iOS is actually better than Android in terms of an OS.
Blah.
Weird children phone things too.
You're not even Mike, Spool.
Spool in this FAQ or not?
Just let him talk.
He doesn't have anything
Let
to
him do his
do.
thing.
He says there's
Spool
children.
doesn't have
There's
anything to edit
children's
right now.
phones.
To make a Linux phone though.
Oh boy.
Android.
This is why we don't let Spool talk.
Never mind.
Are you going to edit Demo Desk or not?
Doesn't take it, Joel.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, I was gonna say, jumping on his point, like you basically have both sides of the spectrum right there. You have Apple, which is completely closed down, which improves battery life and makes kind of ease of use for developing and all that
Make
fun
it
stuff.
unfuckable.
Yeah, I don't forget what does it use, Cocoa or it was Cocoa? Like it's a different. I think they develop on Metal or whatever it's called. I forget.
Yeah, Metal.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever their development software. Like apparently it's very easy for developers to like kind of just do shit.
Because it's one SDK for one hardware spec.
Android, on the other hand, is open source and anyone can develop for it, and it's fragmented across billions of phones, and there can be so many different problems with it.
Can I make a prediction when you're done?
I was going to say, what would be in the middle?
So I don't know. I don't think that the next OS is going to be open. Like, I don't think it's going to be focused on open or closed. I think someone's going to want to develop a hyper secure, like, business OS.
Sure. Well, it's like BlackBerry.
That does
But
exist.
it does
Yeah.
exist, but BlackBerry is failing, and no one wants to use their software.
Because it's garbage.
Because it's garbage. So but someone's going to develop a next generation version of that.
I think they already make a secure Android. To be honest,
There, I forget where it is, but yeah, there's like a phone you could buy for like
But-
$17,000, and it's like the most secure phone in the world.
So that's one, and I also think that one of the emerging markets, China or India, most likely, is going to develop their own native OS somehow.
Maybe.
And that will be more popular than any of these because there are billions of people in those two markets.
What you're talking about, this is going to get super dorky, and I'm probably most of the audience is going to tune out. But what people already do with Android is they make different versions of it. They're called ROMs, and so that's why you get CyanogenMod, which is a variation of Android. Samsung has TouchWiz. LG has like it's just basically a modified skin. But like CyanogenMod has like funding behind it, and they sold like as a company and all these things. And they took an open source platform and made it their own. Like, so yeah, China has actually already done that. There is a sought after Chinese OS that apparently it's really good.
Oh, that's a good question, caller.
Anyway,
thank you very much for the call.
Yeah,
and also we need to sync.
We don't
sync
need to.
on what?
It's actually pretty easy to sync
All
this.
right,
The
then,
waveform of the
no.
call-in is really easy.
I was saying you just do it on the
Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Hello. Do you have a question for us about iPhone versus Android?
Yes, I do.
All right. What is it?
So, it's obvious that Androids are more widely used in terms of like tablets and phones. But is there any like positivity that you guys find in Apple? I know you guys use Androids because of convenience for work, and since you can link and connect through basically everywhere. But like pulling out of that professional/work standpoint, do you think there's anything useful? Or
Like I just
convenient?
said, I think iOS is a better OS than Android is.
I think I would agree. To me it's more, first of all, like the software is just more beautiful. It's more pleasant on the eyes.
Yeah.
I have an iPad at home that I use for, I prefer, having messed around with Surface tablets, I prefer iPads. Again, I think the interface is better. I like the shortcuts a lot better. I also like there are more and better apps developed for iOS, in my opinion, than there are for Android. So the reason I especially like the iPad is that it is a cheap drawing tablet. It's the thing that I doodle on, and I.
You also have an iPad too.
I also have
very
an iPad.
old.
It's very old, and that's why I'm going to look at the iPad Pro when it comes out. We use them for different things, though. Like I don't need a professional mobile tablet, which is what you would use a Surface for.
Yeah, I would actually like my dream is that Windows would operate like OS 10. Like I have a MacBook at home, and like the operating system is one of the cleanest, nicest things. Like using Expose and like just the hot corners of like just how smoothly everything moves, and just how easy it is to alt tab things, and just how beautiful the transitions are. Like I love the general interface of Apple stuff. The problem is it can't run games. Yeah. Like that's really, and then the hardware is locked down, and upgrading it is always kind of a hassle. Like, I mean, they released a computer that's a toilet. Like you can't really like swap out the graphics card. So for what we do, mostly video games and editing, all that stuff, we need to keep our stuff modular and stay liquid in the sense that we have to be able to upgrade at any point. Android's kind of the same way, where we need to be working with Google products, and we need to be able to like my phone, I need to be able to put like large files on it and upgrade the memory. Whereas Apple's like, no, you're going to give us an extra $200 for 16 gigs of space. You can go fuck yourself, Steve Jobs.
So Bruce just pulled up this graph.
This actually just happened. So I've been following this for a really long time because 5 or 6 years ago, I was working on Attack of the Show. I predicted that, to Scott Michella, a friend of ours, that Android would eventually overtake iPhone in terms of market share and in terms of app number. I predicted that, I want to say 6 years ago, probably. Yeah. And Scott was like, no way. And it actually happened in 2 years. I think 2 years from that time that I predicted it, that Android took over the market share. Now, in terms of apps, iOS typically has been ahead. And this is actually news to me that now Google Play has more apps in their store than the Apple App Store.
More is not better.
Yeah, can I make a conjecture, though?
I'm not saying that it's better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying more.
My conjecture is that, based on only personal experience, is that while premium, the best apps will eventually come to both platforms, they usually come to iOS. I've found that a lot of them come to iOS first. A lot of app developers develop for iOS and then subsequently port it over to Android.
Well, there's a reason for that. iOS users are more likely to pay money for apps
because they're rich.
They blew all the fucking money on the hardware. They had got money to burn.
What's our caller's name?
Is it Melissa?
It's Melissa, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, Melissa, in terms of iOS apps versus Android, only recently did Android really basically clamp down and say you need to follow these design specs.
Yeah.
They introduced something called material design with I want to say, what was it, KitKat? Whatever the last update they did before, I forget where we're at. Stupid name. Marshmallow, and then what are we on right now? Lollipop, yeah. But regardless, iOS apps have always just aesthetically felt better, and holy crap, some Android apps, like they were useful, but ugly as fuck. Because they're all stuck in this old...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
but
no, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Goes,
It's your
that
show.
kind of goes to my question of like, in terms of convenience, is Apple more popular because of its convenient, smooth running system that they have that makes people like draw in because of the simplicity, and that Android is kind of the competitor in the sense that it's not as, or it might be more, I don't know the right word.
Well,
dynamic.
I think it's actually not more popular.
Yeah.
We just established
Well,
that. But
Has more cachet, maybe, is what
I
she
mean,
means
like-
to say.
Yeah, just like in terms of, I guess, sales of, with you were talking about apps and things like that because it runs smoothly and.
Well, this
of
is
course-
all. I mean, like that's also it's subjective. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
I
so
know
I see what
completely.
you're saying. Like in terms of style, people think it's more stylish.
Yes,
Let's
exactly.
say.
Sure.
But in terms of popularity, no, it's not more popular.
Bruce, how do you feel about the fact that one of those 1.6 million Google Play apps, one of those is Brucey Bird?
I feel great, and there's also Pocket Bruce and Pocket Lawrence too.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that.
I think also, in terms of the App Store, I'm not positive, but I remember how easy it was for. We had a fan back when we worked in Inside Gaming who made an app for us, and we told him, like, hey, get that up on the App Store. He goes, well, it costs $20. I don't have the money. I'm like, I'll pay that. Like, I paid him the $20. He did it, and he had it up in like an hour. Like, I think it's a lot, which is not a good thing, by the way.
Yeah.
The fact that it's that easy to get on is a little scary. I don't know. I mean, and also going back to what Bruce said, the iPhone is more, or Android is more popular because there are more poor people in this world.
Yep.
There are not that many rich
So
people.
it's for the people.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah. So I mean, we're in the filth. That's where we want
I
to
got
be.
no problem with
Yeah.
that. I would like to be with the common
We're
man.
hanging out. We're hanging out with our people.
Melissa, I have a question for you. What kind of phone do you own?
Oh boy.
I own a Nexus 5.
Oh! Nice job. Thank you very much. All right. I'll talk to you later.
He's not gonna talk to
You're
you.
gonna call her. Hey, what's going
Well,
on?
she might call back. You never know.
Yeah. Wow.
Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello. Do you have a question for us about iPhone versus Android?
Can you hear me?
I certainly can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Good. iPhone versus Android. Go.
Last month I quit an assistant management position at an Apple store in the U.S.
Okay.
Not because I don't like Apple or anything, and not because I'm a fanboy of Apple or anything, but just to move on. So I'm just wondering if there's anything you guys would like to know from a salesman's perspective and from a management perspective.
Good question.
At an Apple store.
Cool.
Maybe help clear something up or.
Do you take money under the table to perform really rudimentary maintenance on people's hardware?
Not under the table. I mean, where we worked, people were allowed to give us tips if we felt it
Tips?
necessary, but I usually didn't take
So
it.
it's basically like a
Because it was usually
Starbucks
easy
air
stuff.
there?
Sorry, what?
No, never mind.
So yeah, my question is actually a question for you, which is which is what when customers come in, is there like a general I don't know, like
a checklist?
do you categorize most Apple customers a certain way? Do you say like, oh, most of the people who come in just want something that they don't have to think about running, and like they're all kind of idiots and they just expect it to work? Or do you? I mean,
so leading the question.
Well, no. Or alternatively, like, is the Apple like company position of like, oh, we produce products for the creator, like for smart creators? Is that true? So which side of it do you think like most of the customers come in on?
Well, in terms of like categorizing people, I didn't categorize people so much into like one general group. There was multiple demographics of people who like you could see when they walked.
This
into
is
the
way
store,
too
you could-
nuanced.
I was gonna say, what's the most common type of customer to walk into an Apple store? What would be 70% of your day?
If you were to divide the human race to two, let's call them genders.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. It'd be old women and young hipsters.
That's the old broad.
That makes total sense.
So, and I'm not saying
Thank you
I'm
for
not saying
confirming our bias.
They're actual hipsters or actual old women, but that's how people act. Like,
Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you think that the iPhone versus Android debate will end up causing humanity to split into two separate subspecies of Eloi and Molochs?
Oh my gosh.
Nobody gets this reference,
I'm
Joel.
so sorry.
I have one last
sorry.
question. I have one last important question.
Go ahead.
All right. We're
All right,
go ahead.
I've heard rumors like through the grapevine that Apple stores are laid out in such a way that it's almost engineered to provide a positive Apple experience. I've heard stuff like
100% absolutely true.
So what are some things about that? I've heard like they will tilt MacBook screens down, so you have to turn them up and feel the resistance in the hinge and things like that. How else is the store laid out in that way?
So basically, there's extremely strict guidelines that we are given by Apple specifically about how the store has to be laid out. You know, like what positions the computers and demos are put in, and like where the tables are, what's on the walls, where people are standing, you know, that kind of thing. And what happens is, I don't work there anymore, so I don't care if people know this, but
Tell us. Give us names.
Usually about once a month, somebody who works for like kind of corporate headquarters kind of guy,
secret shopper.
Yeah, those secret
brings
shoppers.
in a mystery shopper and themselves, and they will like kind of walk around the store and do a check mark kind of thing. And if you fail, you know, if you get below 95%, then you're in big trouble.
Well, that's totally normal for any new organization. Is there anything you can kind of tell us that's like out of the ordinary that you thought was like, oh, that's weird?
Like a children's sex ring, maybe?
Ew.
What? We were trying to bust Apple. We're getting the story.
Apple juice.
Ugh.
Oh, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
just had to be a nice person. You had to be a nice person to, no matter who walked into the store. Because you got some, I mean, I wouldn't say I went without a day without somebody nasty coming into the store. I mean, you have a bunch of good customers, but there's always that one guy who kind of comes in for no specific reason other than to give the salesman's grief.
I have one last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are the employees smart? Are the employees like, and the Genius Bar people actually smart, or are they just like fairly competent, like fairly competent, like entry level kind of tech jobs?
To be honest, it depends how long they've been working there. I felt that the people who just started working, it was a 50-50 chance whether or not they were, you know, like extremely competent. I mean, half of them were doing, you know, computer science at university, and the other half didn't have any Apple experience at all, like had never touched an Apple device, but they liked the idea of working at the store. But we had a very rigorous set of training. So I mean, by the time they finish that, and by the time they do about 6 months working there, they become quite competent.
Thank you for the insight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was the most objective, even-handed person I've ever talked to.
I was waiting for
Also, he
dirt.
spoke in complete sentences.
Yeah, there was no bad stuff.
That's kind of that's what I associate with Apple though. Just like store has to be this way. Apps have to be this way. You come in, you have this exact. It's very McDonald's for me, which works. Well, but also, I like freedom. I like spontaneity.
A lot of the employees at the Apple Store, in LA specifically, half of them are actors and half of them are like hyper dorks. Like people like waiting for their job, and so like you have beautiful people in there, and then you have like hyper dorks.
Sure.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, I don't know. No, I mean it works. I mean, do you remember what was it, CompUSA?
Yes.
Where the fuck's that store?
Oh man, I love
How's that one doing?
I always went to Campusa. Always.
I'm just saying that there have been like thousands of different like computer stores that have gone out of business, and Apple is only thriving more and more. So it's like, it's not broke, don't fix it. I mean, it's working the way they do the layout, and then even Microsoft copied it.
Yeah.
Because they knew it works. It's like big bright store, big tables, come around, touch stuff, see all the things that you already own.
The problem is they called it the Windows Store, and literally we were at a mall. There's the first Windows store I had seen, and I legitimately thought it was a store that sold actual Windows.
Oh, Joel, you're the only person in the
I guarantee you I'm not.
Joel hiked up his waist height.
They should have called it the Windows 8 store.
Caller, are you there?
Oh, hello.
Hello, do you have a question about iPhone versus Android?
Hello there. I was wondering what your favorite devices are.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
that's the question. All right.
Okay,
let's go right ahead.
Yeah, go ahead,
or anything like that.
Quite fond of my fleshlight.
No.
Oh, gross. No.
Stop making jokes.
A phone or a pad.
This is a serious show.
Funhouse answers questions.
A phone or a pad.
I always liked the G1. I'm a fan of physical keyboards, and I know that it can't really fit into a slimline device.
Yeah,
I'm actually perversely curious about the phone that RIM is making, the Android phone with the slide-up keyboard.
Yeah. I guess for those who don't know, it's a touchscreen phone that does slide up, and it has a.
This was one of the first. think this was the first Android phone.
Yeah, it was.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, technically, I think that was the first consumer version, yeah.
Yep.
Wow, look at that garbage.
I always thought that was hot shit at the time.
Yeah,
I mean, it was big,
but yeah, I think this was announced like maybe 6 months or a year after the iPhone was announced, and it was just like already looked dated.
And it was
just like
it did, but it was still like to me the thing that made it not dated was a couple of months after it came out, there were, like you were saying, there were already custom distros of the initial Android.
Yeah.
So Cyanogen was already out at that point, and I was putting it on my G1 to make it run better and use less battery. Yeah. I was like, this is fucking cool. I actually have control over what's on my device that has all of my personal information on it.
Joel, you already said the iPad.
Well, that's what I work on now. My favorite device, when I bought it, I was ecstatic about. When I moved to LA, I got a Palm Pilot, and and because I'm terrible at keeping like dates and numbers and making calendars.
I had one of those.
Yeah, and it was the first device. Exactly, it was the first device.
Beat up Martha.
Well, that was a PDA, right? Like it didn't have any phone functionality?
No phone functionality, but I carried it around. So when I was taking meetings and interviewing for jobs, I could put everything in.
When you pull out the
you
stylus,
could draw on it.
Joel, when you pull out the stylus, did you always dab it to your tongue first?
No, but I did store the stylus behind my ear.
Ooh, that's
oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I had that exact one. I think. Hold on, maybe. I remember I was in college and I bought one of those things because I was also. Oh my god.
Disgusting.
I was selling life insurance before I got into any sort of like production work, and so I bought one of those because the guy I worked for was like, "Oh, you got to get one of these Palm Trios or not Palm. What is it? The Palm Pilot. I got one for like $150 or whatever." And I remember you couldn't do anything on it, so you could put like a couple MP3s on it, like maybe if you could.
Yeah, you like 3 songs.
And so I got so bored, I was just using the calculator on it, and then I did a multiplication that was too complex, and the thing just went. And like, I was in the middle of class, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I wasn't allowed to bring it in.
This was my first smartphone, and I was really excited about.
Oh, those are cool.
The Palm Pre.
Yeah, Oyster Shell.
Used WebOS, and I remember using this to get around New York, and I was really excited about it.
Do you want to see the cool phone? The very first cool phone I ever got? Because my first flip phone was a Kyocera.
Okay.
I got no. You know what it is, the Moto Razr.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
everybody had it. It was like the best.
Oh man, that was the coolest phone ever.
The best phone. Yeah.
Like the best selling phone.
I got
it. You watch Lost on it.
David Beckham advertised that phone all over LA. He was shirtless holding a phone.
I bought that phone.
Switchblading it out. No extra hinges.
I bought that phone 3 years after it was cool.
Ooh,
that's not cool.
Now get this. Flip phones like the Razr and like basically non-smartphones, dumb phones are making a comeback because they are more secure and they don't have all of your data on them. People are starting to reuse them.
You can buy them at a 7-Eleven for $15. It's awesome.
I think it's Samsung possibly. They're making a new smart screen or like a touchscreen flip phone. Yeah, it's coming back.
I want those spring-loaded slide phones they had in Matrix Reloaded.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Thank you for the call, caller. We really appreciate it. Bye bye.
That is the thing that dates the Matrix the most.
Oh yes.
Phones.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Any movie from 1998 to 2004.
Caller, are you there?
Hi.
Hi. Do you have a question for us about iPhone versus Android?
Yeah, so what do you think, there's the Apple Watch and that comes out in Apple TV. What do you think, Apple product or any product that they'll put a screen on, maybe a lamp or something? What do you
Apple
think?
lamp.
An Apple lamp.
I believe what everybody else is saying is that they're working on a car, and it'll be a touch screen. The car will have a touch screen.
Yeah, the Apple car.
And it'll be self-driving, and it'll be a fucking miracle. That'll be the next big screen, the next big screen thing that they make.
I think it'll be flying.
There's Spool again.
Yep.
Apple czar.
Sorry, not
so not that I feel bad because I'm hijacking every conversation and going on a huge diatribe.
You're a tech man.
We were talking about this.
They put a dumb Apple logo on it.
So
whoa! Sorry.
What's your name? Amanda?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Amanda. So the problem is we keep saying things like the Apple TV and the Fire TV and Chromecast. The problem with all of these things is they're just so narrow-minded. They're so
that doesn't look narrow-minded.
Well, that's fake. That's not real. These things you're looking at.
Cool. You have to lay down.
The future.
Coffin on wheels.
The future that people
just drives you to an Apple store no matter what.
No, I don't want to go back.
I'm starving. I need food.
Adam wants to make a point.
I want to give you guys some future talk because it's going to get real.
Yeah,
So
Sorry, go ahead.
That's the dumbest. Like,
Just Photoshop
looks like
wheels
a
on it.
fish. Anyway, sorry. God damn it. I forgot where I was going with this. I always feel like I have something smart
the
to
future.
say. It's the future. Oh,
Apple
okay.
TV's
Here we go.
doing
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so it actually wasn't that long ago. Every single person here, probably you too, Amanda, can remember a time where you had an MP3 player, you had a phone, you had a GPS, you had 10 different things, you had books, and it all became this one thing, and it's in your pocket now, right?
Yeah.
Right. So right now we're experiencing the same sort of convergence right now with the living room, where we have all these apps and we have all this media, and we're using these different devices to basically bridge that gap.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point where it's just going to be your phone or whatever implant is in you, and you're just going to walk into a room, and it's just going to stream to your wall. God damn it!
No, but you're right. Like everything, like I think you're right that everything will be seamless. They're trying to do that a lot. Like with Nest is a good example of that.
No, but that's not a good example of convergence because that's actually putting together.
Well, no, I think,
but basically, like you can control Nest from your phone, so you control your house from your phone.
I know, but
I think where we're moving towards is the
first step.
The ownership of hardware is going to go away. So the whole idea of like self-driving cars, everything's going to be a service. You're just going to be paying monthly for a thing. There goes Skype. Sorry, Amanda.
Bye, Amanda.
She'll be watching this on the VOD. But anyway, I was saying, yeah, you'll just get into, like, we've seen it with like Zip cars and like car to go and stuff like that, where like you're just paying to use a car. You don't actually own the car.
Right.
You don't, right now it's like you don't really own the phone. You're just leasing the phone. So it's like shit's gonna break. You're just gonna walk into a store, like they'll send you a new one, and you're not gonna own the TV. You're not gonna own any of this stuff. It's just you're paying a service fee.
What are you hoping out of the Apple car?
The Apple car is way too short-sighted of what it's going to be. I think because you're already seeing Apple CarPlay is already a thing. Have you seen that?
No.
So they have dash mounts in cars. Is it dash mount? What do you call it? Whatever.
Where you put your iPad?
Not that.
Touchscreens?
Whatever. The fucking the deck. You know, your CD player or whatever.
Oh, the center console.
Is that? I guess that's what you call it.
That
Whatever.
thing? Yeah.
Well, they have things called Apple CarPlay. So you take you have to have a lightning cable, but you plug it into your phone, and then like your dash or whatever becomes an Apple phone. That already exists, and they're doing it with Google CarPlay as well.
But that's not what that's why I'm asking. Like, obviously, that's not all that the Apple car is going to be. Ideally, there'll be more. There'll be something a little bit more.
They're not
pushing forward the technology.
They're not going to make a car. They're going to have a service that's inside like a Tesla or something like that.
You think so? You think they're just making software?
Of course,
Not
that's
hardware.
where the money's at for vehicles. Yes, like they're not going to. Apple is not going to make cars.
Car companies aren't some of the biggest industries in the world.
So yeah, but they've existed for like 100 years. It was so hard for Tesla to break into that.
I have a question for Adam.
Yes.
Since you're talking about convergence, or rather the less reliance on individual chunks of plastic that do things for you, what significance do you see that Google already has the Chromecast, which essentially extends your phone and everything it can do to a television or audio output, and Apple still has the Apple TV, which is a physical box that needs power and processes things remotely? Why hasn't Apple put in some kind of streaming device like the Chromecast?
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, like,
because they can make more money with Apple TV. That's my genuine.
Apple TV does exactly what the Chromecast does.
Yes, but it's more expensive.
Because it's Apple.
And it's redundant because your phone already has that processing in it. Joel, I think, has the right answer.
You want me to blow your mind?
They want to leverage installation numbers for the Apple TV.
Chromecast is redundant because a lot of phones have built-in Wi-Fi, and like Chromecast should just be Chromecast and Apple TV one day, along with Xbox Live and Sony's online
built in your TV, but I'm talking about right now. Why do you think Apple didn't announce some kind of Chromecast-like device?
Because
they did. It was the Apple TV.
No, but Lawrence is saying like a small USB cheap $35 plug-in that doesn't require you to plug it in like a power supply.
Because Apple doesn't do cheap. They need to make something. They need to justify their price, and they need like it's a remote with a touch pad or whatever. The thing's going to be outdated in a year.
Apple Game of Thrones or something.
Because Apple
the idea of a remote is outdated.
No,
it's stupid.
Actually, the real reason isn't just the money. It's because Apple considers itself a lifestyle brand.
Oh, I hate to say that.
But it's
I know you're right.
And plugging in like a little dongle into your TV isn't part of a lifestyle. Having your living room be a fully functioning Apple device is part of a lifestyle.
Well, that's ultimately what galls me about Apple is that, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you're in the Apple lifestyle, whereas I want my tech to work for me. I don't want it to change how I do my stuff for my tech.
But their argument is that join, like if you buy into this lifestyle, it will work for you. Like if all of your devices are Apple devices, they'll all talk to each other, and you'll be able to do everything all at once, and then they will work for you.
Caller, are you there? Caller, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Do you have a question for us about iPhone versus Android?
I was wondering about, like, you know how I think it was Microsoft were talking about making like modular phones so you could swap parts.
Yeah.
In
Project
and out.
Aura.
Like, do you think that you guys would ever get one of them? Maybe if they like made the operating system, like you could pick iOS or Android.
That'd be awesome, but Apple will never let it happen.
Exactly. Apple will not do that. They actually tried an experiment a while back with their Macintoshes, where they sold them and then outsourced them to a bunch of different companies, and then they basically like made other Macintoshes with Mac OS on it. They only did it for about a year. It didn't really work. Didn't really increase sales or anything like that. So they went back to making their own hardware.
Yeah.
So they're probably not going to do that for they might make their own modular phone, but
I doubt it.
I'm not sure if they'll do that. Yeah,
Well,
that doesn't seem like something that they would do.
Here's a theory playing off that. MacBooks and shit like that used to run on PowerPC. Now they're on Intel. So if you want, you can dual boot Windows on a MacBook.
Yeah.
And I don't know for sure, but I theorize it was just cost of production that drove that to happen. So even though Apple may not have chose it to be that way, maybe at some point the hardware will converge to the point where aftermarket people can do that if they want.
Yeah, and the way the hardware works with Apple, it's so closely tied to the software. That's a big reason why the battery life is typically much better than an Android device. But Android allows things like, we're looking at images right now of Project Aura, but even my phone, it's an LG G4, I can swap the battery out. I don't know any iPhone users who can do that.
Yeah.
And I remember I got made fun of by like coworkers of like, dude, that's pretty ghetto. Like, swap your battery out. But it's like,
I like it. It's like reloading a gun.
Well, it's like we're traveling and we're out, and
Makes
it's
me feel
like
like James Bond.
there's always that person who's standing next to the wall. Be like, I'll be right there. Hold on, I just need a little bit of juice. And I'm like, I'll just swap my battery out. It's fine.
I still say battery packs are functionally identical.
Yeah, and until we get to the point where it's like that film Her, where he has like the tiny little phone, and it lasts for like 12 years, like, you know, where the battery life is like basically
It's
not
your
even a
own
problem.
bioelectric energy.
Also, we need wireless charging in the air.
Thank you for the question, caller. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's all right.
Bye.
Pray for Mojo.
Get out of here.
Caller, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Joel
Do you have
was
a question
almost
about iPhone versus Android?
I was wondering if you think that Apple will have a never-ending kind of going of successfulness, and that they'll just keep adapting everything into their brand, or do you think sooner or later someone will be able to step into their branding against Microsoft and Apple and iPhone?
I think Apple, Google, and Microsoft are like McDonald's. I think they're going to survive for hundreds of years. And it's one of those things that like they're becoming, like Joel said, sort of a lifestyle. As long as the company continues in the direction of innovation and lifestyle, I really don't see them, going out of the consumer space for at least another 100 years. That's just the way I see it. But they're one of 3 or 4 companies that can say those sorts of things.
I agree with a lot of people who rag on Apple about like, oh well, Microsoft had was it Samsung had a giant phone before Apple had a giant phone, and Samsung or Microsoft had X, Y, or Z before Apple had X, Y, or Z. Whatever the fuck it is. I agree with all that, but Apple has effectively unlimited money to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Sure.
So they're going to be able, I agree with Bruce, the foreseeable forever future, to take ideas and then make them their own. Do the Apple version of whatever idea. I don't see anybody like, if the question is like somebody taking them down or someone legitimately calling them out in an effective way, I just don't see it happening.
The funny thing about Apple too was, if you remember, they almost went out of business.
Yeah.
Like they almost did not. Oh dear God. They were almost like absorbed by Microsoft.
Yeah.
And Microsoft kind of saved them in a weird way.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they brought Steve Jobs back, and all by himself, he fixed everything. Not true, but whatever. We'll see if the Fassbender movie.
Yeah, the biopic will tell us.
We'll see. Which looks interesting. I used to really like Steve Jobs when I was a kid because I had an iMac, and I'm like, I watched Pirates of Silicon Valley, and I was like, he's such a cool guy. And then the more I read about him, I'm like, wow, what an asshole.
Well, it's almost like Steve Jobs is kind of a unique character, but I feel like it's kind of a Walt Disney phenomenon where to be that kind of person who changes the world in that way, you're gonna be there's going to be something about you
a
that's
little bit
not
of insanity.
all nice. Yeah, you're going to be a little crazy and a little pushy and a little dicky.
Regardless,
a little Asperger's-y, honestly.
A little bit, yeah.
All these guys are.
You don't stop working.
Silicon Valley, the show, is almost a documentary at this point, where it's like,
so on the nose. It's creepy.
But on that point, like Apple almost went away. They're never going to let that happen again. They're not going to make those same mistakes because they almost went away once. And as long as they keep adapting, like Joel was saying, and they keep stealing ideas from other companies, they'll be fine.
Well, I think also more importantly, they're literally the most profitable company on earth right now, and they're not going to go away because they have so much money.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Thank you for the call, caller. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's see who we got.
I'm gonna wave to people. They can't see
The
me.
most
Caller,
profitable-
are you there?
Hello? Is that true?
Hello.
Hey.
Do you have a question for us about iPhone versus Android?
No.
What was the first Apple product that you've had?
The first Apple product that I had.
Man.
I believe I had, let's see here. I had one of these. Although I probably had one of these before that. Performa Mac. It was like this thing.
Whoa.
I had
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was
an
the-
optical drive.
And I remember this Power PC logo on the front of
Yep,
it.
we used to edit with those.
Yeah.
Man, I
Gross.
wanted to try to put a DVD drive in that thing. Guess what you can't do?
I had one of those. I had one of those too. I was
Type in 90s Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Or 90s Macintosh.
You mean the ones with the handles on them?
No. I had an iMac. Don't get me wrong.
Huh.
I forget the name of the one that I had. I had a really old one.
Like a Power PC?
No, not that. My grandpa had that though.
Yeah,
Man, he loved that
we
thing.
had that.
No, I had one that like it could run Day of the Tentacle. Yeah.
I didn't own this, but the computer that we had in my elementary and middle school were Apple IICs.
Oh yeah, no, I used those in elementary school as well.
Yeah.
These little guys. You could play Oregon Trail on
You
them.
could play
Hated those
you could play
motherfuckers.
Green Oregon Trail,
Yeah.
and eventually I think there were some models of the C's that had some color. Is that right? I don't remember.
I don't know. I remember my grandpa showed me a program where he's like, check this out. If you type in any number, this program will go down a list and find that number for you. So I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, go for it. I'm like,
That's right.
I'm like, 100. And it went, found 100. I was like, whoa.
There goes 3 hours of my time.
Yeah.
Lawrence, what'd you own?
I don't think I've ever owned an Apple product. I've used them a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's so like they were in computer labs and stuff, and I remember using them and be like, I don't like this.
When you were at Machinima, your
They gave me a
computer-
MacBook and I
yeah.
installed Windows on it. Yes. I remember
Lawrence
even as a
never
kid,
changed.
I remember as a kid thinking, why is there only one fucking button on this mouse? So it makes no why?
So before OS 10.
And the click was on the bottom. It wasn't a button on the top. It felt
Yeah, it
terrible.
was so annoying. I agree. Hate
for
that
the
mouse.
longest time, like type in OS 9. Like look at OS 9 was ugly as balls, and it couldn't play video games. Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah, I had 9.
this is the garbage I had to use.
I mean, it's not like 3.1 was any prettier, but still, this was XP era.
No, I'm saying this is what I was dealing with for a while. So this is so my grandpa has always been like an Apple fanboy, like since like whatever the 80s. He's always been behind them through the good and the bad.
Weird.
And my mom bought us a compact Pisario one year from like Costco for like $1,000. I remember.
Day later, it's being used to prop open the door.
Before that, my grandpa gave us an iMac, and we just couldn't do anything with it because
Yeah.
it just didn't do shit. And it had OS 9 on it. It was ugly. And I remember one weekend, my grandpa was coming over to visit. My mom hid the compact in the closet, and we had to bust out the iMac and be like, "Look, Grandpa, look what we're using." And he was like, "Oh, you don't have anything installed. Let me go through there." And it ran really slow afterwards. But I ended up selling it at a garage sale for like $10, and it was like the original iMac.
Thank you for the call, caller.
Anyway.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a nice call.
Thanks.
He was expecting us to like say iPhones and stuff, but we're all
Nope.
old.
I know. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, hey.
Hey, you
Hi.
have a question for us about iPhone versus Android?
Yeah, so I started out as an Android user, and my mom actually was the reason that I switched, because she said she didn't want to buy me an iPod and a phone. So I was wondering what you would do to, like, sell me an Android. Like,
Wait, hold on.
I don't want to sell you an Android.
What kind of phone do you have right now?
I have an iPhone.
Cool.
iPhone 5 or like
I have an iPhone 5, yeah.
Okay.
5S.
All right, so somebody sell her an Android.
Okay. What do you listen to music?
Like-
What do you use
Like,
to listen
what
to
are your
music?
favorite features? Kind of thing.
What do you use to listen to music right now?
My phone.
Okay, but what service?
Spotify.
Okay, Spotify's on Android.
Yeah, but
So if your initial problem was you didn't want to
Okay.
carry on two pieces of hardware, you don't.
actually, no. This is how this is how I would sell you on it. Because this is how
I'm a good salesman.
This is how I sold myself on it. Don't listen to Lawrence.
I used to work retail.
That's great. Keyword used
I
to.
think we all got our starts in retail.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
What's her name?
Des? Is it Des?
Yeah, it's Des.
All right, Des. How much do you pay a month for your on your phone bill?
Like 110.
Whoa. Fuck me. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy high.
Is your phone paid off, or are you on a 2-year plan?
It's paid off now, but I've
Okay.
just got my.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna sell that phone of yours, and then we're gonna buy you. Let's say, so the new Nexus just came out. Nexus 5.
No, we're not actually going to buy you anything.
No, I'm saying this. I'm doing the salesman
buy
thing.
me
We're
something.
role playing. Actually, fuck it. Go to the website Swappa, SWAPPA, and what's a good what's a good phone? LG G3. That's a good phone.
Okay. We're gonna buy an old phone for this woman.
Well, yeah. We're gonna save her a shitload of money. We're gonna make her rich like Lawrence.
Yep.
How much is it on? Who's your network? Who are you on?
I'm on AT&T.
Okay, we're quitting them. We're going to T-Mobile because you can get them for like $30 a month.
Well, this is unlocked.
Yeah, that's where I started.
Actually, it doesn't even matter. I'm sure AT&T actually, we could probably go on any sort of plan. I don't know. Regardless, so you're gonna get rid of the phone. We're gonna get you on a cheaper plan because you're gonna just buy a phone outright and own it, and then you're gonna control which carrier you want to go to.
So the phone we buy is unlocked.
Okay.
You can go anywhere with it.
Yeah, you can go to Cricket Wireless or whatever. I'm just saying there are other competitors out there. All you have to do is buy the SIM card, and then you pay the monthly fee. This is how I was paying $110 with Verizon or something like that, and I bought an Android just so I can get off of that, and I can buy the SIM card. I bought a Nexus 4, and I had my phone bill down to $30 a month, and I was just basically saving money that way so that I was
Printing
making money. Yeah, so imagine taking your bill from $110 a month to $30 a month. What would that do for you?
That would save my life.
There you go. So I just sold you an Android. Thank you. Someone tapped my butt.
Yeah.
What?
Des, thank you very much for the call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
We have time for one more.
Time for one more. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, hey, I'm here.
Hey, you have a question for us about iPhone versus Android?
Yeah, so when the smartwatches first came out, like everyone thought they're kind of dumb.
They are dumb.
Still dumb. Now that Apple Watch is out, everyone that has Apple likes them.
They're dumb.
People are dumb.
So
That's typically how it goes.
with Google Glass, how that thing kind of flopped. Do you
Also
think
dumb.
Apple's gonna come out with a version and everyone's gonna like flip shit for it?
Oh, of Google Glass.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh no, well, Google Glass is kind of dead.
I mean,
Right,
like,
but if
yeah,
Apple
Google,
did
Google
version.
Glass is dead right now. Apple Glass.
Apple Glass.
Apple Glass is what I want to search. Let's see here.
No.
And the idea is like augmented reality, right? And I think Google Glass Google loves micro experiments, and they buy companies all the time that seem like they might turn into something. So they get all the stuff at a steal, and if it blows up, great. If it doesn't, they just walk away from it. I think that's different than Apple, which is they have an idea that they are convinced will work, and then they push it and push it and push it and push it and push it. It's almost a little Microsofty in that way. And I think, I'm sure that they're doing tests about this kind of stuff, and I think like that gaudy ass piece of shit didn't fit into the Apple brand or the Apple lifestyle. That's like some 80s cyberpunk gear.
Look at his helmet.
His little cap. So stylistically I can't see Apple doing that. Maybe if they could build them into some fucking thick ass shades or something.
I would posit that when you see that's awesome.
He's built the beginning around.
the beginning. When the Apple car comes out, I would venture a guess that there will be a HUD on the windshield.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, most newer cars now that are like, relatively expensive have HUDs.
Yeah.
So the problem is, Joel is giving a lot of credit to Apple.
No.
In the sense that they're going to actually invent something.
I'm not. Did you hear what I said earlier in the podcast where I said they're going to take everybody else's ideas and make them part of the Apple experience.
But I'm saying there would be a Google car, which there is going to be. We saw them driving the other day.
We did.
Yeah, so Apple would only do an Apple Glass or an iPhone, huh? That was from a Futurama episode. Anyway, they would only do that if it was popular. They let everyone. Kind of cool. They let Google figure it out first, like what works and what doesn't work. So I guarantee you, if the Google Glass experiment had taken off, Apple would be developing. They probably are developing a similar version. They're just kind of testing the waters before they go public with it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But nobody wanted nobody wanted a Google Glass, and people want a HUD on their car.
Sorta. If it's a self-driving car, you can just look at your phone. People do that when they're driving anyway.
But we're not going to honestly have ubiquitous self-driving cars for 10 or 15 more years, at least.
It's going to be a little bit.
Sure.
How does that address?
Caller, thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
HUDs are going to be a lot easier to put in.
Oh, I see.
What? A HUD would be easier to put in to use your cell phone?
No, than a self-driving car.
HUD?
We have reached the end of the FAQ
I don't know if you know how holograms
podcast. Turns out Android won. Because of sales.
Android always wins.
Also, Android always wins.
The answer is the very first question.
God damn it. The entire time we kept calling it Android versus iPhone.
Yeah.
And it would be Android versus iOS.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter.
It really doesn't.
Or
I just said
it'd be
this.
Apple versus Android. Actually, it'd be Apple versus Google.
So,
well, you can also it'd be iPhone versus Nexus 6P or whatever.
You can do that too.
You can do that too.
Well,
But
yeah, except for the iPhone. I mean,
think it's weird.
There's only one phone that uses the iOS. Well, one company that uses the iOS. So it makes more sense to say Android. It really does.
I agree.
I would like to argue more about this.
Let's argue about it.
Anyway,
instead end the
HUD is
podcast.
going to be more ubiquitous.
Okay, let's end the podcast.
God,
We're
your
done.
breath is
Self-driving-
so bad.
Thank you for
It's
listening.
garlic.
Oh,
Thank you for listening.
We went to Zanku today.
I got a hot waft in it. It was so bad.
I burped and blew it right at Bruce. I felt a little bad about that.
Gross.
Joel, did you learn Krav Maga when you were in the
I can't-
Israeli military?
The thing is, I can't tell you, but
Oh.
Are you still playing? Hold on.
Do you sign an NDA?
Oh.
Guys, 1 second.
Do you sign an NDA?
Okay, yeah, it's still going. All right. All right, let's accept another caller.
Skype's having
down
Lawrence,
again.
what are you doing?
Shouldn't have
Fucking
updated
damn.
Lawrence's fault.
I hit answer. I wanted to answer the call.
I wish we were still playing Jurassic World Lego.
Fucking Skype.
Move it.
Thank you.